What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Go Talk with Marcus, powered by Podex, fueled by Goat Fuel. Once again, joining me on the show is Guru of Guru's Film Room and Justin of the hashtag thisJUSTin Sports Show. What's up, fellas? How we doing tonight?
Go ahead, Guru. Let him know how you're feeling, Guru.
You know, I'm feeling splendid once again. Blessed to see another day, and I can't wait to kick this man's ass. That's what I've been waiting for. That's what I'm here for. I don't even want to talk much about it. I just want to get right into the action. You should have let me go last, Justin, but go ahead, Justin, because I got something for your ass too.
You have nothing for my ass because I brought what I'm coming to teach you football. So we're going to talk about it. Dwayne Marcus, let's get on with the show. Let's get it on.
There's so much to talk about, and I don't even know if we're going to make it to the night without Guru popping a blood vessel, but we'll see. There's a lot to discuss. First of all, and I have to say I'm very proud that I get to say this. Next Friday, live, right here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch, on Twitter, Blaine Spencer, one half of the Final Whistle Sports Pod, well-known Commanders fan, is going to be on this show in a Dak Prescott jersey. Because he tried to sit on this show and tell me that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were going to beat the Dallas Cowboys this past weekend. So, proud moment for me to force a Commanders fan on my show in a Cowboys jersey. So, with that being said, Justin, was this past weekend the last time we'll see Tom Brady throw a football?
In a Tampa Bay Buccaneers jersey for sure. I mean, I know he's done. Like, you don't walk out on the kids and your wife just to play one more season in Tampa Bay and let it finish like this. Like, now we are going to see him in probably Las Vegas because, like everything else, relationships matter. And I would have said before, like, we knew he was basically in Miami, had Tampa Bay let him do what he wanted to do last season. But no, Tampa Bay has hired a head coach that he has absolutely no relationship in Mike McDaniel, somebody who's almost young enough to be his son. I figured he wanted the reports are that he wanted Sean Payton with him in Miami, and then he have some sort of ownership stakes when he eventually retires. So the mere fact that they don't have, Sean Payton there in Miami anymore, and I guess ownership kind of likes Mike McDaniel, it tends to tell me that you're going to see him in Las Vegas because, like, it's almost like Patriots West. You have Josh McDaniels, you have all those former Patriots front office people in the front office in Las Vegas. Like, that's basically what's going to happen. And it's not like the other things don't fall in line with what Tom wants. He no longer wants to play in cold weather, and he's playing in the dome in Las Vegas. And on top of that, like, look on field, what he has there, he has Davante Adams, arguably the best wide receiver in the league. In fact, you can say in terms of skill position players, when you look at wide receivers, running back, along with tight end, at the very worst, Las Vegas Raiders have the second best skill position group, really. So, like, you have Davante Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, and Josh Jacobs. The offensive line could do some work, but the relationship reality that he has with Josh McDaniels is what really is going to drive him to be playing in Las Vegas. So we have not seen the end of Tom Brady. We've just seen the end of him in a Tampa Bay Buccaneers jersey.
Real quick, are you saying the second best position group in football or the second best position group in the division?
I just feel like overall, because, like, when you look at, like, in that position group, and I mean in terms of running back, wide receiver, and tight end, because, like, there's not a lot that's, when you look at every single position group, that's better. Like, you can say arguably, San Francisco for a shot of a doubt because Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and then George Kittle. But then we go past that as a group, including the running back and tight end. I'm not sure you can find a second group outside of what goes on in San Francisco, including the running back and tight end, that is better than what potentially Las Vegas had. The only problem this season with Las Vegas, having made Derek Carr scapegoat, is that we forget those four players, hardly play together. Like, you can count the number of snaps that Davante Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, and Josh Jacobs were on the field together. Like, if that's a healthy group, I'm not telling you that Las Vegas is in the playoffs. I'm just telling you this is an extremely productive group if all four are on the field together.
Guru, is this the last of Tom Brady in the NFL, or just the last of Tom Brady in Tampa Bay?
I mean, honestly, I hope it is, to be honest with you, because I really don't. We're not going to see the best. Put it like this: the best of Tom Brady is over with. So I think, regardless if he goes to Las Vegas, he goes to Minnesota, he goes. I don't give a damn where he goes. Like, he's never going to be the Tom Brady we all seen, 5, 6, 7 years ago. So frankly, I think it's just the dude. I think the dude just need help. He went to Tampa Bay, and I know he got a divorce. And I hear if you're a divorced single male, Las Vegas is a very highly, place to go when you're single. So I'm sure luck will happen in Las Vegas without people knowing. So tell you the truth, man, I look at his football skills, and a lot of people know he's old, man. One thing I noticed watching films on Brady, especially this last year, this guy's gunshot. You need the perfect offensive line group. You need everybody got to be perfect. He needs literally like 3 to 4 seconds. He can't really. He wants to do quick routes, and people sit on that. So as far as his impact to me personally, I think his name, he's more historic impact than as far as current impact. So I think if it goes to Vegas, I think that's another quick way to get whoever the coach is. I forgot his name again, man. Whoever that dude was, for him to get fired, because frankly, in that division, obviously not better than the Chiefs. I don't care if they have Brady. They're not going to be better than the Chiefs. So with that said, I mean, I don't really see Brady being as much of an impact. I think right now he's just more of a ticket sales, more of a sideshow. So that's going to definitely help Little Davis over there as far as tickets and getting the stadium sold. But other than that, man, I don't see it. Like, the Raiders to me not going to be a Super Bowl contender like with Tom Brady. Like, I don't give a damn. Like, he's not going to be a Super Bowl contender at all. They might squeeze in to be a wild card and get drugged in the first round, and that's best case scenario. So I think the whole Tom Brady rhetoric, man, you look at him on films, like I think it's just deaded. You know what I'm saying? I'm focused more of the young guns. I moved on. He's like a BlackBerry. Right now I'm on the iPhone. You know what I'm saying? BlackBerry was great back in the days, but I moved on to the iPhone, man. I think we all should move on from Tom Brady personally.
Whatever he said. Everything he said.
Someone needs to old yeller Tom Brady. Someone needs to take Tom Brady behind the shed and just put him out of his misery. Because here's the thing, right? Tom Brady, I didn't see Tom Brady play a single complete game of elite football all season. I didn't see Tom Brady play a quarter of elite football all season. The closest Tom Brady came to playing elite football this season was towards the end of the season when they played the Panthers the second time with essentially their playoff hopes on the line, and Mike Evans had his best game of the season as well. Tom Brady did not have an elite season, and I get it. It's Tom Brady, and he's the GOAT, and like Guru said, he's got this historical aura around him. But like, Tom Brady sucked this year. Let's just call a spade here. Tom Brady was not a top 5 quarterback in the league this year. He won the top 10 quarterback in the league this year. He won top 15. He won top 20. He's hard pressed to be top 25, if you ask me. Like, Tom Brady did not play good football this year. Taylor Heineke played better football than Tom Brady did this year. Daniel Jones played better football than Tom Brady did this year. Mike White, in the very short period of time that he did play football, played better football than Tom Brady did this year. There were a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL, both that had starting jobs all year and even some backup that came in for a short period of time that played better than Tom Brady did this season. Now, I get it. It's Tom Brady, and there are a lot of teams around the league that need a quarterback, and they would be better off with Tom Brady than whoever they have on the roster right now. I get it. But Tom Brady, at this point in his career, has not been playing enough. He hasn't played enough elite football over the last 2 seasons, really, but especially this season. So for me to look at, if I'm a decision maker on an NFL franchise that's trying to compete for a championship, where I look at this guy and I say, hey, here's a guy that can lead me to a championship. And I get it. It's Tom Brady. And it sounds crazy to say that we finally entered the point of Tom's career where he can't lead him to a championship. But Max Kellerman, guess what? You were 7 years too early. But we finally reached Tom Brady's cliff. It's not going to get any better than this. We're not going to see anything better than what we saw this season from Tom Brady. Could he be more productive? Sure, if he goes somewhere with a better O-line, he could be more productive. He can be more efficient. But Tom Brady this season didn't play good football. He didn't play division-winning caliber football. He didn't play wild card winning caliber football. He certainly didn't play Super Bowl champion caliber football. Tom Brady, so far, over the last year, really year and a half, has not been a quarterback that you would look at as a hot commodity in the free agent market outside of face name value. Someone needs to take Tom Brady behind a shed with a revolver and just put one in the side of his head, not literally, of course, but figuratively to his career, because Tom Brady is not going to end his career on his own unless he ends his career the way Peyton Manning ends his career, and that's with a Super Bowl trophy in his hand. And I don't think we're going to see Tom Brady hosting a Lombardi trophy ever again. Someone old yeller Tom Brady sooner rather than later.
As you were speaking, I was just thinking, you know what? I might have been too harsh on Brady. I'll take that. I want to take some of my statement back. I want to walk it backwards, do Michael Jackson. Okay. I want to moonwalk a little bit. All right. So meaning like, I get it, man. Even a guy like me has been dumped before. I know it's hard for you all to know. Like, I've been in a situation where I was going to get dumped, but you're trying to salvage the situation. And I'm not going to lie, man. My grades went down. My takes went down a little bit because the only thing I was thinking, my gosh, man, my life is over. So it's a major, major life situation that happened to him, man, especially when you got to divide as far as, where the kids is going to be like. I understand some of his struggles as far as the off-field, and I believe that had a major impact in his on-field performance. Now, I'm not saying he'll win a Super Bowl. What I'm saying is he's going to win. You said he's going to win. He's going to hold a trophy. That's going to be a trophy young model by probably 25, 26 years old. He's going to hold that up. But as far as the Lombardi, you're absolutely right. I think that's far-fetched. But I do see him because one thing about being a single male and you have multiple females in Las Vegas, you're going to play better. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to impress those young girls. So I think Tom Brady, and I'm literally talking, his off-field success is going to give him a little bit more on-field success. And I'm talking about as a man, there's two things we love. That's winning football games and winning the womanhood. So I think Tom Brady's going to end up coming back from that aspect, which will make him feel younger, you know what I'm saying? Because guys like us, we love dating younger women, you know what I mean? So dump them old heads and be like Leo DiCaprio, 25 or below, baby. Let's effing go, like Brady would say.
You better not cheer too hard, Justin. Mrs. Marvel might be watching this. You better put your hand back in you.
She's at a hockey game. What I'll say is this, right? What I'll say is this. I don't expect him to be as bad as he was this season if he does play in Las Vegas because, again, he has a head coach that knows him particularly well. I don't know there's another head coach, and Bill Belichick included, that knows Tom Brady better than Josh McDaniels does. And again, I talk about that skill position group. If you can get these guys healthy, like you're going to have a running game with Josh Jacobs. You have Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller. Like he has legit targets who are not old, washed up, and can no longer gain or can no longer struggle to get yards of separation. Because that's what Tampa Bay is a very, very bad football team. I don't know who the hell thought that was going to beat Dallas. But a lot of the problems, not only that the offensive line is trash, but Mike Evans wasn't getting any separation. Everything was Chris Godwin either behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage. And if you're not threatening teams deep, you're not going to beat decent defenses that way. So I think he's going to look better in Las Vegas. But as y'all said, the time of Tom Brady dominating or winning titles that's done.
I don't care if Tom goes back to New England. I don't care if Tom stays in Tampa Bay. I don't care if Tom Brady goes to Las Vegas. I don't care if Tom Brady ends up in Miami. There is not a football team right now that is in dire need of a quarterback, or is in a quarterback needing adjacent situation where you're putting Tom Brady on that team and that team's winning the division. It's not happening. Tom Brady's not winning the NFC East if he goes to Washington. He's not winning the AFC West if he goes to Vegas. He's not winning the AFC East if he goes to New England or Miami. He's not going. Who else needs a quarterback? He's not winning the AFC South if he goes to Indianapolis. He's not winning he might win the NFC South again if he goes to New Orleans or Carolina. That's just because that division is just god awful. He's not going to win the NFC West if he goes to Arizona. All of these places that need a quarterback. If Tom Brady wants any shot at hosting or winning a playoff game again in his career, he's going to have to stay in the NFC South. It's not happening. But seriously, someone needs to take Tom Brady and his career behind a shed or behind a dumpster or behind a barn or heck, on a side of Raymond James Stadium and just put a bullet in his career. It's done. It's over. Like, we need to learn at some point, like, you just have to give it up. And Tom Brady just needs to give it up. This fairy tale ending that he's looking for, that Barry Sanders had when he retired when he was on top, and that Peyton Manning had when he retired at the end of Super Bowl 50, like, it's probably not happening. And it's not just because Tom's not at that level anymore, but it's also because look around the NFL. Every quarterback that is still playing in the NFL right now is under the age of 30. The oldest quarterback that's playing in the NFL that's playing the playoffs right now is Dak Prescott. He's 29. Like, this young talent isn't going anywhere. And when you add on to the fact that you have other young up and coming talent potentially that could break through and take that next step next season, like, who's Tom Brady beating in a head-to-head QB battle at this point out of all these young quarterbacks that's not named Brock Purdy? Probably none of them. Like, it's just not happening. Someone needs to end Tom Brady's career once and for all, because he's not. Giselle might need to come just and just put an end to it, because it's not happening. And I understand that life happens and sometimes that permeates into your professional career. I get it, but Tom Brady didn't look that good even before all this happened. Like, he just didn't look good. Like, it's okay. It's Tom. I get it. We love Tom. We always want to put Tom on this pedestal because he's the GOAT. Just because he's playing bad football, it doesn't mean he's not the GOAT. But someone seriously needs to old yellow Tom Brady, because it's going to start getting out of hand real soon. At the beginning of the season, it seemed like the writing was on the wall for Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens, to end up in a divorce. Although the past couple of days, Greg Roman's been fired, and it has been reported that Lamar Jackson is now going to be involved in the offensive coordinator search for the Baltimore Ravens. Guru, what should the Ravens do moving forward with Lamar Jackson? Should they tag Lamar Jackson? Should they pay Lamar Jackson his money? What are the next steps for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens moving forward to repair what, at least on the outside looking in, seems to be a deteriorating relationship between the former NFL MVP and Baltimore?
Oh, I know what repairs every relationship, baby. That $200 million guaranteed. That repair every. You forget every. You like, oh yeah, we cool again. I didn't even realize. I didn't even take you serious. It was all a joke, man. But at the end of the day, Lamar, I feel like we go through this rhetoric, man. Every year, some certain quarterback. It was what last 2 years was Dak Prescott, and now it's Lamar. I mean, I just feel like obviously the Ravens are in a situation where they know they need to sign Lamar. I think they just got to work the little kinks, you know. They got to do a little, you know, a more due diligence as far as how they want to structure the contract. But I don't see the Ravens doing anything without Lamar. It's just one of those marriages that I think it's a beautiful marriage. And every marriage got the little up and down. Every relationship, you have your little turbulent situation. So I look at this more as a turbulence more than anything new. Like, I don't think this is Giselle and Brady when it's a divorce happening. I know I hear a lot of media people, even you, Marcus, might say there might be a divorce, but I don't see that, man. I think this is reconcilable. And find Greg Roman. Frankly, I mean, I don't know why. I mean, so I guess somebody got to be the scapegoat. But I like Greg Roman, to be honest with you. I think there was more issues in us, and as far as the offensive situation, than there was more issues as far as organizational situations, which means they include the whole team, than Greg Roman. But I guess, hey, somebody got to take the fall, right? So, and I think Greg Roman is taking the fall for it. But at the end of the day, even with Greg Roman, this team was always a 9 to 12 win team. So I think that's respectable, especially in the NFL. And his offense was catered to make Lamar MVP. Like, his offense made Lamar who Lamar is, and why Lamar is going to get this buttload of basically Brinks truck coming to his front yard. So at the end of the day, I think it's going to be reconcilable. I think it's just like the Dallas Cowboys situation with Dak Prescott. I think the Ravens going to bite the bullet because they are, as far as the institutional, they're very credible, and they are very sensible. And in this situation, they know they could say anything they want as long as they pay Lamar the money. Everything will be reconciled. So I look going forward. I think the Ravens are going to be the Ravens. Great organization, great leadership from top to bottom, and I expect to see Lamar there for the next 5 to 7 years.
Justin, what's happening with Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens moving forward?
It's just a situation where they're trying to, I don't want to say fight, but debate over how much money is going to end up going Lamar's way. And I think the biggest situation or the stumbling block that the Ravens hit is when Cleveland did that madness with Deshaun Watson with that fully guaranteed $240 million. I think that is what has the two sides seemingly at a rift. But at some point, like Guru said, they're going to realize they have no other choice but to give Lamar Jackson what he wants, which is something probably in that range. And I think he wants something. Like, I think the whole holdup is the fully guaranteed status of the contract. And to what Guru said, this is a situation where the team has always been like when you talk about franchises or organizations, right? The Baltimore Ravens has always been seen as an organization that does right by its players. You've never heard former greats come out and talk badly about the Baltimore Ravens. You don't hear about players having grouses with the organization. And I mean, I know Ozzie Newsome is no longer there, but you see the respect and the love that all these players have for John Harbaugh and what goes on in the Baltimore Ravens. Like, for what we've seen, you've never heard Lamar had a bad word to say about his head coach. And I think the relationship is so great. So great in terms of that Lamar is his own agent. Now, had Lamar gone out and got an agent, then I'd say, well, pause. Because obviously the agent is not going to have a personal relationship with the franchise. And that agent is going to do everything in his client's best financial interest. Because obviously the more his client gets, the more the agent is going to get. And the mere fact that Lamar never got an agent and is dealing with this personally tells me that what we think is a rift is really overblown. And then on the on-field side, the entire Baltimore Ravens team, even defensively, is built surrounding what Lamar Jackson does. Like, you're not going to come now and undo that in one off season. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you're not going to find a new quarterback. You're not going to sit down and tear out all these draft picks and pieces that you've put together over the years. Like, both sides of the football have been constructed to suit exactly what Lamar Jackson does. So, like Guru said, they just don't see a situation where these two sides are going to go apart. Lamar never got an agent because he wants to personally deal with the organization. Kind of like he didn't want miscommunication like what happened last year with Freddie Freeman and the Atlanta Braves. He wanted to make sure that this is done. He gets what he wants. The team is built for Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson likes the organization. It's just going to come down to how much guaranteed money will they give Lamar Jackson.
The team might be built for Lamar Jackson, but it has been built well. Like, here's the thing: when you look at when you look at other young quarterbacks in the league, right? Look at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's got Jamar Chase. He's got T. Higgins. He has Tyler Boyd, who was already there before he got them. He has Joe Mixon, who was also already there before they got there. They spent $100 million in the offseason on the O-line, which is something that that's disgusting, which is something that one Justin Marville swore up and down would not happen, which is the Bengals spending $100 million, nearly $100 million in the open market on the O-line to protect Joe Burrow. You look at Justin Herbert. Again, some of these guys are already there, but like they spent money on their O-line as well. They also have Keenan Allen. They also have Mike Williams. They also have Austin Eckler, who's led all running backs in touchdowns over the last 2 years, right? You take a look at Josh Allen. They got Stephon Diggs. They have Gabe Davis. They've got they don't really have a running back room. But they have Devin Singletary. They have James Cook as well. They have a decent O-line. I can go on and on and on and on. You look at all these young quarterbacks. You look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's best receiver he's had since he's been there was Hollywood Brown. He's gone. What they do? They signed Dez Bryant, who played. Did Dez even play a game in Baltimore? I don't think he did. I don't think Dez Bryant played a single game in Baltimore. So really, the best weapon that Lamar Jackson's had since he's been a Baltimore Raven is Mark Andrews. And Mark Andrews is a top 5, depending on who you ask, top 3 tight end in football. But like this offense has been extremely underwhelming. They're banking on Devin Duvernay, and they're banking on DeMarcus Robinson, and they're banking on Rashad Bateman. Again, all of these are very talented receivers. They're young, they're talented, but they haven't lived up to the expectations. Lamar Jackson, should he be a Baltimore Raven? Sure, he deserves to be a Baltimore Raven. He is a league MVP. He has done remarkable things in the short time that he's been there, and he has proven that in the right situation, when you invest in him and when you surround him with the talent that is necessary, and when you build up the O-line, and when you give him a little bit of something, he can make something happen, and he can be as electrifying as he was in his MVP campaign a few short years ago. The problem is, and you kind of touched on this, as personal this relationship is, if I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm slightly insulted that it's taken this long for me to get money. Like, I'm a league MVP and I respect the organization, and the organization supposedly respects me as well, but yet we can't get paid. And maybe you're right. Maybe the issue is the disagreement of money, right? But let's call a spade here. Regardless of Deshaun Watson's contract, and regardless of Russell Wilson's contract, and regardless of Kyler Murray's contract, 3 quarterbacks who he is clearly by far better than at this point in his career, despite the injuries he suffered the last 2 years, Lamar Jackson's worth $200 million guaranteed anyway. Regardless of what Russell Wilson got paid by the Broncos, regardless of the extension that Kyler Murray signed with the Cardinals this offseason, regardless of the ludicrous amount of money that Deshaun Watson got paid by the Cleveland Browns, Lamar Jackson was always going to be worth $200 million come this time around. Here's the problem, and here's where the Baltimore Ravens need to get some pep in their step and work with a bit of urgency. There are a lot of other quarterbacks who are about to get paid that have been in the league a little bit short amount of time compared to Lamar Jackson. Joe Burrow is eligible for an extension this offseason. Justin Herbert's eligible for an extension this offseason. Joe Burrow just took his team to the Super Bowl last year. He could do it again this year. Justin Herbert, despite some ups and downs with his franchise, is a good quarterback. Imagine what happens, and imagine how Lamar Jackson feels if Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert get paid before him. He has to come back into that front office, look back at this owner, look back at this GM, look back at the decision makers in Baltimore, and still fight to get $200 million guaranteed. This is more than just a slight issue over money. This is about value. And what it feels like, if I'm Lamar Jackson, if you look at it, Lamar Jackson, you're right. He doesn't have an agent. He wants to do it himself. Lamar Jackson feels that, or you would think that he would feel that if he can go in there and negotiate with his own money, given the value he's brought to this organization and given the relevance that he's brought to this organization, and when you look at what happens when the Ravens have him, when they don't, you would think that the Ravens would automatically just want to give him the $200 million guaranteed or whatever it is he's asking for to keep him around so that their Super Bowl window can stay open and so that they can stay relevant as a legitimate threat in the AFC and as a Super Bowl contender. What happens if Joe Burrow gets paid before Lamar Jackson does? What happens if Justin Herbert gets paid before Lamar Jackson does? What happens if those two guys get paid the money that he thinks he deserves, which he does? You think Lamar's just going to sit around and just say, oh, this is just a slight riff over money? This isn't just about money. This is about the value that Lamar feels that he deserves and about the lack of value that he is feeling from the organization because of their lack of urgency or their lack of appeared urgency to get him paid and get him the money that he deserves. There is a very strong chance, I think, that if the Baltimore Ravens look at Lamar Jackson square in his face and offer him a tag, non-exclusive or exclusive, he's gonna turn it down. There's no way Lamar Jackson
plays he's gonna turn it down. Of course,
and I've said that over and over and over the course of the offseason, right? And I get it. Lamar Jackson is a guy, and he's on record as saying he's never going to be the guy that holds in or holds out and stand and put his and not put his team first. He's always said that, and I believe him. He's a stand-up guy, and that is how he's been so far this course of his career. But if the Ravens look at Lamar Jackson square in his face and offer him a tag, exclusive or non-exclusive, Lamar Jackson's not going to be a Baltimore Raven next year.
Well,
he's the highest bidder.
Real quick, man. Look. Let's, like, you said some stuff that I kind of, we already started. The first thing you said already, I just brushed me off, just totally wrong. Like, it's like
everything I say just rubs you the wrong.
No. This one really rubbed me off wrong. This might be one of them generational differences. All right, look, man. Look, Baltimore Ravens organization, it's already made. You know what I'm saying? Lamar Jackson did not make the Baltimore organization. The Ravens organization itself has more clout than a Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson have not done anything but, you want a single MVP. Boo-hoo. He hasn't won a Super Bowl. He hasn't taken them to that level. No, the Baltimore organization know how to win championships without Lamar. So I don't want you to put them like, Lamar is going to make him, just use the word relevant. No, the Ravens were relevant without Lamar. And they're going to, because of how they structured.
Were the Baltimore Ravens in the last 2 to 3 years with Joe Flacco as quarterback, were we looking at the Baltimore Ravens as a legitimate Super Bowl contender before Lamar got there?
And honestly, to be honest with y'all, do you really think they're the Super Bowl contender because you have a guy named Lamar? What does he prove to me to say they're a Super Bowl contender? What he's doing to
how many football teams with top 10 quarterbacks aren't supposed to be looked at as Super Bowl contenders, Guru?
Easy. Come on, man. Like, let's watch football. We know football. Not everything that makes the playoff. Not everything that makes the playoff is a Super Bowl contender. The Seahawks. Let me just say, the Seahawks were one of the top teams that made the playoff, but ain't nobody in your God green earth really thought they were going to be a Super Bowl contender.
That's not what I asked you. Let's get the vein back in the side of your neck. Let's take a couple deep breaths. Let's relax.
First of all, that's workout. If you don't know about the gym vein, all right? I don't know much about that. When you work out in the mornings and late nights, you get veins coming out of you. Go ahead, but go ahead.
How many times over the last couple of seasons have we looked at a team that has a top 10 quarterback? We said that's a guy that has a top 10 quarterback and not said that's a team that could be competing for a championship. That doesn't happen. Is Lamar Jackson a top 10 quarterback in football? Yes. How often
Jackson has a top 10 skill set in football?
So Lamar Jackson's not a top 10 quarterback.
Like I said, look, Lamar Jackson is not the normal quarterback. Let's just don't put everything in one phase right here, bro.
I'm just asking. If you are ranking the best quarterbacks
out of all the so-called top 10 quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson has the biggest deficiencies. Could we agree on that or no?
No, I 100% agree with that. That's not what I'm arguing. What I'm saying is,
it depends on who y'all have in the top 10 though, because there are some.
If you are ranking the quarterbacks in the NFL, right? If you're just going to rank them 1 to 32, all the starting quarterbacks, all 32 of them, 1 to 32, Lamar Jackson falls in the top 10. Yes or no?
You want to talk about the Guru's top 10?
Sure, let's talk about Guru's top 10.
I'll give you this. He has amazing top 10 talent that he's going to make. I have to work to bring out the best out of Lamar. But as far as when I pick Lamar, I can name about 7, 8 quarterbacks I would pick over Lamar, to be honest with you.
I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm asking is he in the top 10? Is Lamar Jackson a top 10 quarterback?
I think he's closer to 10 and 11 than he is closer to 5, 6, or 7. I would say that.
I agree with you. I'm not going to disagree with you on that point. So, but what I'm saying is, if you look at the teams that have top 10 quarterbacks, right? Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, Josh Allen and the Bills, Justin Herbert and the Chargers, Joe Burrow and the Bengals, right? All of these guys that have top 10 quarterbacks, these are all teams that you look.
Hold on. But guys, hold on. I just want to interject here because I saw Guru put up a film and I'm glad that somebody's doing it now, and I know Guru's going to smile when I mention this. What has Justin Herbert done that makes us believe he's better than Lamar Jackson again?
I'm not saying.
No, I'm just asking because I know
Justin Herbert is a better decision maker. He's a better passer, and he plays better in big time moments than Lamar Jackson does. So there's that. Aside from this one playoff game that he had on Saturday that everyone seems to just say is all Justin Herbert's fault when it's not. But we can get into that another time. We can get to that in a second, actually, when we talk about when we get to the next topic. Justin Herbert has played phenomenal. He's been since his career started. Justin Herbert has been one of the best quarterbacks on third down. He's been one of the best quarterbacks on fourth down. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in the final 2 minutes of those games. And that is when quarterbacks.
But that's nice. But again, since we want to put, and I'm not saying you're definitely, but if you want to put Justin Herbert above Lamar Jackson, again, point to me what has he done to do this.
It's a preference. There are people that think that Justin Herbert's better than Lamar Jackson. There are people that don't. What I am going to say is whether you have Justin Herbert ranked ahead or not ahead of Lamar, Justin Herbert is a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. Wherever you have him ranked, whether he's ahead of or behind Lamar Jackson, he's in the top 10.
Man, look, everybody's a top 10 quarterback for this guy. Everybody's a damn top 10 quarterback, man. Like his taste is different than everybody's taste, all right? Everybody's a top 10 quarterback from what these guys talking about.
So I asked you 3 minutes ago to give me your top 10 quarterbacks, and you haven't done it yet. You keep talking
because I was listening to you. I was listening to this gibberish or rhetoric you're talking about. Like, let's just be honest. What Lamar Jackson, the only reason why Lamar Jackson is so-called considered an elite quarterback because of his athletic ability. Let's just don't put that out there because he's an athlete.
For the 10th time, who are the 10 best quarterbacks in football according to Guru? That's what I want. That's what I want to know right now. That's where we're at. Let's stay there. Who are the 10 best quarterbacks in football, Guru?
You can't name 10 better.
No, I can name because because look, it's just more than just this. You're looking at that analytical bullshit. He's trying to trick me.
I'm not. I want you to name the
I'm not going to let you trap me because you're going to come back. I know you too much. You're going to try to come back with stats.
I'm not.
And analytical bullshit.
Guru, who are the 10 best quarterbacks in football, bro? That's all
like
right.
I said,
That's right now.
It's like who's the GOAT in basketball. I'm not going to go in this never-ending debate with you.
Guru.
What I'm saying is, when I'm talking about playoff situations, right, I think more has to go right with a Lamar Jackson than any other quarterback as far as so-called elite quarterback.
I don't disagree with you. I'm not arguing that. All I want to know right now, all I'm interested in right now is knowing who are the 10 best quarterbacks in football according to Guru. That's all I want to know right now.
So like this. Lamar is going to be from between 8 to about 15.
Bro, who are the 10 best quarterbacks in football, Guru?
I would suggest you, Dwayne, to move on to the next topic.
No, because he's not going to trap me into saying stuff. Well, this is my receipts right here. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to trap me into saying things. I personally don't believe Lamar Jackson. I think his skill set, his athletic ability is top 10. But as far as you want to talk about quarterback, you want to say the positional as far as quarterback, I personally think he has the biggest deficiencies, and I put him closer to maybe 12, 13 than I would put him to 10, 8, between 8 and 10.
Guru, I got on Twitter last offseason and said I'd take Dak ahead of Lamar. And I said Dak was top 10 and Lamar's not. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just want to know personally who you have ranked top 10. This isn't going to turn into an argument. I'm just genuinely curious because we've never had this conversation before. I just want to know.
Okay, put it like this. Just like every other NFL, it's seasonal. All right, it's not historical.
Okay, right now.
Okay, this season, this past NFL season,
as of today, as of today, you are ranking.
I have that in place. All right. Obviously, Patty Mahomes is up there. You know what I'm saying? The usual suspect, Pat, Allen, Burrow. Obviously, those are we already know their skill set is even a blind man like yourself who looks stats could see that. All right. So, honestly, another guy, I think Dak Prescott had a better season than Lamar, and me, personal preference, this is just a personal preference. I don't want to put this guy up there, but if I have to choose between one or the other, I would take a Kyler Murray skill set over Lamar, me personally. Other guys I would put in as far as top, let me think now. It's AFC South. AFC West, negative other than Mahomes. AFC South. I like Trevor. I think Trevor got a bigger skill set than Lamar. So I put Trevor Lawrence in my top 10, to be honest with you. Go to AFC North. Obviously, I said Joe Burrow. Okay, and then personally, before the whole situation, I thought Deshaun Watson he has a better skill set to me than Lamar. But obviously, we're talking about this season. AFC East, obviously, Josh Allen, I mentioned that. So let me go down to the NFC West. Honestly, Matthew Stafford got a better skill set to me than Lamar Jackson personally. So then I go to NFC North. Oh yeah, obviously, I think Kirk Cousins and Lamar are in the same situation to me personally as far as skill set. NFC East, I think Dak is better than Lamar to me, but other than that, and NFC South. Now, Lamar's better than every quarterback in the NFC South. So, to me right there, like I said, he's between 8 to 13.
Sure, I agree with you. I agree with you. I got crucified last year on Twitter for saying that I thought Dak was better than Lamar. And he is. It's fine. Whatever. Go ahead, Justin.
I don't agree, but I'm going to let this show
Okay, then who are your top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL? We're here now. Let's just get it out. Who are your top 10 quarterbacks in football?
All right. I'll take that back. Jared Goff had a better year than Lamar. Let me put that in there.
Jeez. Well, so we're getting to the ridiculous side of this argument. No. So, all right. The three that you mentioned, there's no getting past Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow, so we could get aside there. And quite frankly, I don't know how much further I go from here. And I understand what Guru is saying, and I think too often we get caught up on this one thing because we think that, we have been, Guru's kind of closer to my age than I am to you. So I know Guru is accustomed to a particular type of quarterback, and we're being told, quarterbacks have to do this and that. And that deficiency he talks about is obviously Lamar's accuracy down the field. I get that. But
no. I don't want to say that. To me, the deficiencies Well, I'm a film guy, all right? So there's quarterbacks that throws outside the numbers, and there's quarterback that throws inside the numbers, inside the hashes, right? And Lamar Jackson cannot make every throw because he's limited as far as his arm strength and those type of stuff. You know what I mean? So meaning that's why, for instance, when I said he needed a receiver, Lamar don't need an X receiver. He's not going to be great with a Devonta Adams. What he's going to be really good at is just like Brady, who was also the greatest inside the number thrower in the history of the NFL. He needs those little slot receivers like a Keenan Allen. You know what I mean? He needs a Hunter Renfro. That's what Lamar needs to be successful. You can't get an X receiver because he don't have the skill set to utilize and maximize those type of talent. And that's what I was basically referring to as far as his deficiencies.
And the thing is, I can agree with that. But the thing is, right, so even with that deficiency, right, you have to understand that, right, he may have that deficiency and other quarterbacks may not have that. But what he does, his play, even though, right, yes, he's an athlete, there's no getting around that. But his play is such, and the system that they use elevates everything else around him. There are very few quarterbacks who do that, whether you want to see them traditional quarterbacks who have the ability to throw outside the numbers, etc., who have the arm strength, who have the accuracy down the field. Their impact on a team does not equate to what Lamar Jackson does. So while you may see at a pure quarterback position, Dak is better, then well, that's fine. But Dak's play does not elevate the Cowboys like what Lamar does. Like,
what you mean? Like when you say elevate, what is the elevation? To me, it's more like an escalate, like an escalator than an elevator, because it's a slow process. Take away? Look like this. Defensively, as a defensive coordinator, forget all the bullshit they tell you in the regular season. As a DC, that's why he struggles so much in the playoff, because it's easier to stop a guy like Lamar Jackson, especially when it's playoff time and you focus on him that single week, than it is to stop a guy like a Josh Allen, for instance.
But you just called two of the three best quarterbacks in the league, so that's like a bit like we're not saying that he's at their level. But I'm struggling to find outside of those three. I am struggling to find anyone else that I would put. But I'm not saying he's the fourth best, but I'd say he's like middle of the top 10. Like, I cannot tell you another quarterback I would definitively say that their play on the field is better. Not for me. Like, no, I've sat down and watched Dak Prescott this season, and what that like. All right, let's look at the two teams. Right, even though Dallas is constructed in a way in which they can win without Dak, like, look at what Dallas looked like with Cooper Rush. That is not going to happen in Baltimore as we saw towards the end of the season.
Because the Cowboys, minus Dak Prescott, have a better football team than the Baltimore Ravens, which goes back to my initial point, which is the thing that we all harp on. Regardless of Lamar Jackson's talent, regardless of what he can do with his legs, regardless of the fact that he is one of the most electrifying football players, not just quarterbacks, but football players we've ever seen step foot on the field in the National Football League, the Baltimore Ravens have not built a consistently good supporting cast around Lamar Jackson.
I disagree because they've been injury.
Listen,
they have one of the unluckiest teams for the last 3 seasons in terms of injury.
If you look at hold on. If you look at the Baltimore Ravens position groups and you compare them against any other position group,
but that's the problem, Dwayne. You can't do that. You can't do that, Dwayne, because this position group is fitted to what Lamar Jackson does. Exactly what Guru said. So you can't sit down and say, I can't, like what Guru just said, you can't give him like a Devontae Adams. That is not
with Devontae Adams. But what I'm saying, can this position group not be built better to better support Lamar Jackson?
Well, they've been hurt. Yes or no? Look at Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman has spent most of his NFL career hurt. Then you look at the situation, Devin Duvernay, again hurt. Like, you have not seen J.K. Dobbins is only now coming back from injury. You have not seen this position group fully healthy together at the same time. So it's unfair to say they have not. They've like
it's the position group they have now, right now. The position group they have right now, is this position group better than the position group they had a couple years ago when he won MVP, or the year after that when they made the playoffs? No, it's not.
I think it's better because, again, Rashad Bateman is very good, and I don't like when you get him healthy.
I'm not disagreeing with you, and I'm not trying to sit here and make it seem like
Mark Andrews.
They're not.
Mark Andrews is way better than what he was 2 years ago. But again, we're not seeing that. Yeah, I do believe that. Right now, the Mark Andrews we're seeing right now,
I agree with you.
it's really good. But again, we did not get to see that this season again because Lamar Jackson spent time hurt. But again, it could go on about Lamar, but it's just me on my personal.
I know you love basketball and all that. So the best way I could describe this, right, is different skill set. LeBron James is ball dominant. What makes LeBron James great is he's great. He's the definer. Lamar Jackson, what makes him great is it's not because he needs help. That he won't be great. What makes him elite is because everything's based on him. He don't have the skill set. He's not a culture influencer like I was an infuser. I think he's a made man. He's what he is. He's himself. He's been like that since I followed the kid. Since high school, it's been all about Lamar. In college, it was Lamar. You know what I'm saying? In NFL, it's Lamar. He's a one-man show because that's his skill set. He don't have the diverse skill set to get other guys involved at that level other than Mark Andrews because that fit his skill set. Because of his accuracy, he needs a big body guy like him, especially inside the numbers. So I think they're maximizing it. Yes, maybe they might need a Hunter Renfro. You know what I mean? Like just like Brady, because he's great inside the numbers. You need one of those Wells Walker type dudes, or the other dude he had in New England. Yes, you might need those. But then again, he don't have the same accuracy as Tom Brady. So he don't have that skill set to maximize those type of talent.
And I agree with you, Guru, but what I'm saying then with Lamar Jackson, while his skills are not diverse, the skills that he does have are so great that when you have other diverse quarterbacks, their abilities with those skills are not to the level that his one or two skills are. That's what I'm saying. Like his one or two skills that he has, yes, he's a limited quarterback.
But then again, that's why you need him. That's why you need him. That's why without him, everything looks disorganized because you can't build a diverse skill set because he's the one of one of the only people in the universe that has that skill set. So that's not like in business. You can't teach that skill set to nobody else.
Agreed. But I'm saying that those are so elite that while he is not varied like the other quarterbacks, that elite, the stuff he does is so elite. It is better than normal quarterbacks who are varied. That's what I'm saying. He is so elite at what he does. It's just better than everyone else.
So does that make you a champion?
Well, we're going to find out in a couple of years going down. We're going to find out.
Like I said, frankly, I think the way his game is built personally, the way his game is built is for Lamar to be a Hall of Fame, to have stats, for us to be like, oh, yeah, he's little Lamar. His name is Lamar. He has one name, Lamar. Nobody call him Lamar. He's just Lamar. That's what he is. Like he's like in a music group. He's the lead singer. He's just the guy. But that don't mean usually the group don't last long. You know what I mean? You don't last long. The guy becomes the guy. Lamar can't win the way he plays football. He's a great sideshow. He's a great ticket. He's like a circus. It's great when he comes to town, so guys like you can watch. Oh, look what Lamar did. Look at his highlight, because this is the highlight generation. You know, the TikTok generation. Oh, look what he did in 30 seconds. But at the end of the day, bro, like this man like to say, Justin, football is simple, bro. All right? I could put 8 men up to go club with this dude because then I can limit his advantage he has over him because 8 is greater than 1. I'll just tell you that. You can put 5 offensive linemen. I'm going to bring an extra guy that's the offensive lineman cannot block. So you can spend $200 million on offensive linemen, but at the end of the day, what makes Lamar Lamar is when you do that wing T, when he's outside the pocket, when he gets me on a little play action, when I'm worried about his legs. That's what makes him. And to me personally, that those days of winning championship do not exist. He's a ticket sales. He's fun. He's good for the culture. Yeah, Lamar, look at him. He's different. He's unique. Man, this is a team sport. You need guys that infused for team unity. And this Lamar is a one-man show, bro.
You'll find out soon enough.
All right, it's been 5 years. We've been finding, like, I don't understand what we've been finding out. That's why his playoff success rate is low. Like, I've been watching it. I don't know how much longer you want to keep watching it, but I've seen it prove the last 5 years.
The last 2, he's been hurt though. He's not even
because of he's
in the 3 years
styles of play. He's high risk. Just like if you drive over the speed limit, you're more high risk to get in an accident. You might get in a place faster than me, but guess what? You got a higher risk that you will get in an accident before me. So either way, that's part of his skill set. That's why he gets hurt, personally.
I mean, here's the last thing I'll say, and I agree with the guru 100%. Like we can't say, but Lamar Jackson gets hurt every time we talk about the lack of production over the past couple of years we've seen from the Baltimore Ravens, because it comes with the way that he plays football. Lamar Jackson gets hurt because of the way that he plays, his play style puts him in more likely chances of him getting hurt, getting hit than other quarterbacks. He doesn't have the size of a Josh Allen where he can go head up with a linebacker or go head up with a D lineman and be okay. He doesn't have the body size of a guy like a Justin Herbert or a Joe Burrow. He has some where he has the stockiness and he has the weight on his body and the build and the broadness of his shoulders where he can dip his shoulder, take a hit, pop back up and keep going. He doesn't have that. He's smaller, which makes him more elusive. And of course, it makes him more faster, but it also makes him more susceptible to being hurt. So while I understand that Lamar Jackson's been hurt the last 2 seasons, I understand that the Ravens haven't found much success without Lamar Jackson. I recognize that last season, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens were the first seed. He got hurt. They ended up missing the playoffs. I get all of that. But that comes with that comes with Lamar Jackson. With Lamar Jackson comes the chances of you getting hurt. Those same likelihoods existed with Russell Wilson. They also existed with Colin Kaepernick. They existed with RG3. It's the reason why RG3 doesn't play football anymore. Now, in some of those instances, like the Russell Wilson and a Colin Kaepernick, those injuries didn't show up as much because they have different builds, because they were bigger. Or in Russell Wilson's case, I think he's a little bit smaller than Lamar, but he has more weight on him, and so he's distributed better to absorb those. Yeah, to absorb those hits. Lamar Jackson's skinny and he's fast, and nothing wrong with that. He's a phenomenal talent, but his body is not built to endure the hits that he endures on a week in, week out basis. Like a guy like some of these other guys that run and are mobile, and that's all I'm saying. So, I want to talk about Sean Payton, but then I realized that I don't want to talk about Sean Payton because there's not really much to talk about Sean Payton. So we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to start talking about the divisional round. Guru, we'll start with you. Cowboys 49ers. Who wins and punches their ticket to the NFC Championship game?
Man, this is tough, bro. Like, this is so tough, bro. Like, oh, man. Like, I'm still watching. It's hard for me to really come to a conclusion right now because right now oh, man, this is tough, bro. Because at the end of the day, man, I think what the Cowboys do well could cause problems for the 49ers. You know, I think one of the biggest we misconstrued about the 49ers is, oh, man, they're hellacious defensively, man, but they're so weak as far as this secondary. So weak as far as that, man. I love my man Travis Ward, but we also saw what DK did. We saw what Geno did. I think CeeDee Lamb, I think the Cowboys' strength as far as throwing the ball with Dak, and especially with Dak looked last round, I think that could cause problems, man. Problems for the San Francisco 49ers. So I don't know about this one yet, man. And I just don't know about this one. Honestly, if you want to put somebody want to put a gun in my head, they're like, Guru, what are you going to do? As much as it's out of my character to say this, and I might not say too often, but if I have to choose, man, I honestly think, and I hate to say this, but I think the Cowboys are overall a better team than the San Francisco 49ers. And obviously, if y'all want to look at it, because I know you guys are stats guy, Justin over leaning his head, I think both of them have the same record, or maybe one got one more win than the other in that situation. But I think it's a very close game, and I'm leaning to the Cowboys to win this game by 1 or 2 points, bro.
So clearly Justin's about to sit here, and I guess this is the part where he thinks he's going to school us on football, Guru. So go ahead, Justin.
Like, I am disappointed in Guru. I'm very, very disappointed because, like anything else, right? Football is about. All right,
I forgot.
Let's get to it now, Guru. So the Dallas Tampa Bay game, I don't know why anyone had Tampa Bay to win that game because it was an obvious mismatch. I said before, Tampa Bay is the worst team in the playoffs. Seattle included. They were easily the worst team in the playoffs. Now, you talk about Dak not passing the top. Obviously, it was going to look bad against Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay's secondary, even when they won the title, is one of the worst secondaries in the entire NFL, even when that defense was good and their defensive front was great. The weakness of that entire Tampa Bay team was that secondary. And then you saw the defense got worse when they got absolutely no penetration. That and the Dallas Cowboys had a field day up front. And I keep telling you, Guru, games are not won by these skill position groups and quarterbacks that you love to dance and prance about. Games are won on the line of scrimmage. And Dallas absolutely obliterated Tampa Bay on both lanes of scrimmage. And that is something they're not going to be able to do against the San Francisco 49ers. So let's get to it. Their offensive line just completely blew away Tampa Bay. Do we expect that to happen against San Francisco? I absolutely do not think so. That is why that looks so good. You are asking them to go up against Kinlaw, against Greenlaw, against Nick Bosa. This is a completely different defense that you're playing. The secondary is not great, but we know when I get and when you're constantly in your backfield, that game plan changes. Your quarterback is going to look different. Now you talk about the Dallas defense. What is the strength of that Dallas defense? Their pass rush. What mitigates a pass rush? A good rushing attack. One of the best, if not the best, I'd say they're probably the second best offensive line in the rest of the remaining field. The San Francisco 49ers. And their varied way of not just rushing the football, but also the way in which they use their varied weapons. That's going to cause problems. So we saw it already. We saw it in last year's playoffs. We talked about how great that pass rush was against San Francisco. What did it do against a mobile quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo? Absolutely nothing. They could not get home because that offensive.
Wait. Did you just say a mobile quarterback?
I said immobile.
You said immobile. Okay.
Immobile quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo. What did they do? They could not get home because, again, this is an offensive line that is extremely great and they run the football. So all the Micah Parsons we like to talk about, that's going to be mitigated because they're going to either run right at him or go the opposite side. And then when we talk about this skill position group, which I think is one of the best, if not the best in the NFL, right? And how they use these players. No. I like the kid. What's his kid? Stephon Diggs' younger brother. I love that kid. Very, very good cornerback. He's gotten better. But you know what? He is a good cover corner. You know what the San Francisco 49ers are going to tell him to do? Come and make some plays at the line of scrimmage. Because guess what? The San Francisco 49ers find a way, and I know Guru studies film, and he knows this. I was watching the other day NFL Live, and the way in which, especially when they go 21, which is 2 running backs, 1 tight end, and the way in which they deploy these weapons. You know what's going to happen? When they put Deebo Samuel in the backfield, that kid Trevor Diggs is going to have to come to the line of scrimmage and tackle somebody. And you know what they're going to do? When he comes to the line of scrimmage, you're going to have to get through somebody. And I think he is one of the most underrated players, if not the most underrated player who's not a Pro Bowler, in Kyle Juszczyk. When you have to run through a Kyle Juszczyk or you have to run through a George Kittle just to get to Deebo Samuel, name me a cover corner in the league that wants to do that. Absolutely none of them want to have to play at the line of scrimmage. And that is exactly what the San Francisco 49ers are going to do with Trevon Diggs. And then, oh gosh, we don't even know what the hell is going to go on the opposite end of away from Trevon Diggs. The Dallas Cowboys are a good team and they're built well. Yes. The team that they are not suited to play against is the team that they are just about to play in the 49ers. This is a physical football team. And then let's get to how they deploy their weapons. Kyle Juszczyk, he can go in the backfield as a fullback. You can put him up on the line of scrimmage as a blocking tight end. You can put him out wide as a wide out. You are asking players who are not accustomed tackling these big grown-ass men to tackle men. And then we get to Christian McCaffrey. Like, they're going to put him everywhere. So you're going to be forced right now as the Dallas Cowboys to play man defense because you cannot play a zone or they'll figure you out. They're going to spread you. And this is, I see Guru smiling. Guru knows everything I'm saying is correct. That's why I am so disappointed that he picked this Dallas team. This Dallas team does not match up well. Go ahead.
So much outstanding. Like, you know what? I love Justin. Like, I love you, man. Like, you made such outstanding points. And those points, I know about those points, you know, and I might, yes, I'm a human. I know I'm a human. maybe I got a little bit current with what I saw with the Cowboys. But I think as you were speaking, it was all coming back to me. You know, it was coming back to me. Thank you so much. So
this is a mismatch.
What I want to add to that is what I failed to realize with the Cowboys defense in a sense, which I kind of knew, but I didn't emphasize, but you brought it up to me, is Kyle Shanahan is going to scheme to cover 3. All right. He coached with the defensive coordinator, and sadly, the Seahawks run the same damn defense. And we saw exactly the situation, the handicap he put against the Seahawks. And I could see that. I could see how he's going to – that's exactly what you have to do. He's going to make the corners have to tackle, and those corners don't want to tackle. And you're absolutely right. What I was thinking, because it's a rookie quarterback, you know, if I was Dan Quinn, if I was DQ, Derek Quinn, I want to call him, if I was DQ, I would sell out as far as get my 8 minutes and let this guy beat me. But then I realized Kyle Shanahan, yes, this is not the Eagles because the Eagles are the best team in the NFC, but can I please Michael Jackson myself back?
Thank you.
I said it was going to be close, but I think it's going to come down to as far as the Kyle just knows his defense so well. And this defense is based on positioning, and Kyle's offense is based on positioning. And this defense is one of the easiest defense to position against because it's a simple defense. And what I saw, what they did against the Seahawks in the second half, I was like, holy shit.
And
man, yes, you're right.
To finish the point, and then to put, and everyone that says, oh, but Brock Purdy. There's a reason that Brock Purdy has looked so good in this system. And it's not that Brock Purdy is great. Is that how the San Francisco 49ers scheme their weapons? You are, first thing first, right? They have drafted so well and then traded for Christian McCaffrey. All of these players this is basically positionless football. Yeah. They get players who are great at doing things after the catch. And you're not asking Brock Purdy to make a ton of decisions. It is like, we are going to scheme these players open, and if they're not open, we are going to tell the Dallas Cowboys, try to make some tackles at the line of scrimmage. And you're going
to see a lot of motion because with that defense, you got to shift. So you're going to see, and they're going to get out leverage. Yes, I'm
disappointed you, Guru. So I'm going to tell you, Brock Purdy is not going to be a problem in this game because Dallas is looking to pass rush, and San Francisco is going to invite it. They said, okay, no problem. Well, when you're coming up the field, deal with these weapons one-on-one on the outside and try and tell your defensive backs to try to make physical tackles at the line of scrimmage, and they are not equipped to do that. Right. The San Francisco.
I don't like the Cowboys linebackers. I don't think they could be able to all their safeties to handle Kittle. Even if Trayvon Diggs go with Debo, I think Brandon Ayuk is going to be too physical for. All right, you got it.
The San Francisco 49ers. And I'm not telling you the Dallas Cowboys are a bad team. It's just a bad matchup. San Francisco 49ers are going to win this by 2 scores.
I'm ashamed of both of you. I'm ashamed more so of you, Guru, than I am of Justin. I expected this from Justin. I expected Justin to come out here. When I told him Guru's on the show, I expected him to come out here and drop a whole bunch of scheme words and talk about scheming guys open and do all this other stuff and all this and all that to appease the great Guru of Monday Morning Football and Guru Fumo. I expected this from Justin. I expected Justin to come out here and get up on his pedestal and put the headphones in and make sure that the jersey's on and do all this boring soliloquy about schematics to make Guru feel better as the only film guy on the show. I am so disappointed in the both of you. First of all, to even utter the name of the Seattle Seahawks in the same sentence as the Dallas Cowboys as a means of comparison is disgusting. It's lazy and it's nasty. It is absolutely disgusting that you would sit here and compare the Seattle Seahawks, a team,
playoff
of that's fine, but they are a team of young talent with a lot of upstart, but a bunch of mid everywhere else. If you ain't talking Tariq Woolen, if you ain't talking Kenneth Walker, if you ain't talking Abraham Lucas, if you ain't talking Charles Cross, if you ain't talking Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf, you are talking about a bunch of mid. And Jordan Brooks, forgive me, I love Jordan Brooks. That's number one. Number two, and most importantly, Are you going to sit here and tell me that the Dallas Cowboys defense with DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons and Dorrance Armstrong and all these other guys, they ain't physical? The Dallas Cowboys don't play physical football? What
They don't.
are you talking about right now? Micah Parsons is
there are a fast pass.
I didn't utter a word when you sat up there and you get on
but
your
you just call pass rushers.
No, I do not. No, don't utter a syllable. I'm sick of it. I am so sick of what we are talking about right now. The Dallas Cowboys are not a bad football team. The Dallas Cowboys defense is one of the best. I didn't say a word. You hush. You hush. I didn't say a word.
Put words in my mouth.
I didn't say a word while the two of you sat here and went on this disgusting spiel. Am I saying the Dallas Cowboys are going to beat down on the 49ers? No, they're not going to beat down on the 49ers. Of course not. That's crazy. Could they? I think they could. I think the Cowboys play at their best. They could beat on the 49ers because the Cowboys at their best, one of the best teams in football. That's neither here nor there. They already are one of the best teams in football. But you're sitting here and you're going to sit here and tell me that the Cowboys aren't physical. You're going to sit here and you're going to tell me that Trayvon Diggs is weak. You're going to sit here and you're going to tell me that this pass rush, one of the best pass rushers in football, led by one of the best pass rushers in football. Actually, two of the best pass rushers. We're going to sit here and tell me that this pass rush can't get to Brock Purdy with that O-line? Look, the O-line's great. I get it. You're going to sit here and tell me that this Dallas Cowboys O-line, one of the best O-lines of the last couple weeks of the season, can't hold their own? I cannot believe the words that have come out of your mouth. Now, that's San Francisco. I'm not done. Now you want to sit here, you want to talk about the secondary. First of all, I'll be the first to admit, I came on this show a lot last season. And I gave Trayvon Diggs all kinds of crap. I did, because people tried to say he was elite, but he allowed over 1,000 yards of coverage, and he had all those picks. Fine. Well, the picks have gone down. Trayvon Diggs has become one of the better cover corners in football. He's become one of the better man-to-man corners in football, and he's done a lot better. Now, that's number one. Number two, you're going to sit here and act like the Dallas Cowboys safeties aren't good safeties. You're going to sit out like the Dallas Cowboys secondary is one of the best secondaries in football. You're going to sit here like the Dallas Cowboys secondary can't hold their own against Deebo Samuel and George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk.
My argument. You are exaggerating.
You shush. You shut your mouth. I don't care if it's a short pass. I don't care if it's a medium pass. I don't care if it's a deep pass. I don't care if it's a screen pass. I don't care if it's a bubble. I don't care if it's a wing. I don't care whatever you want to call it. I don't care if it's a flat, a Texas, a post, a corner, a slant, a go, a streak, whatever. I don't care. The Dallas Cowboys defense is one of the best defenses in football. And to sit here and act like they're just going to be lost, like they're on Gilligan's Island for a full 60 minutes against the San Francisco 49ers offense is absurd to me. We're sitting here and we're talking about one of the best defense of football, and that's just defense. When you go on the other side of football, and look at the offense, you look at what they've been able to do this season with Zeke Elliott, with Tony Pollard, with CeeDee Lamb, with Michael Gallup, with Dalton Schultz, and with Dak Prescott. You're going to sit here and you're going to tell me that this team can't hold their own against the San Francisco 49ers. This is a team in the Dallas Cowboys this season right now that resembles a lot offensively. If you really think about it, when you take with an exception of one player, this offense resembles a lot of the offense construction-wise of the offense that just won the Super Bowl just a little less than 12 months ago. This offense looks exactly like that. They have a guy in CeeDee Lamb who can run every route on the route tree. They have a guy in Dalton Schultz who can get the job done in between the numbers. They have a guy in Dak Prescott who can make every throw possible, who can extend plays with his legs. They have two running backs in Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott that can do all these things. You're going to sit here and you're going to tell me that the Dallas Cowboys have no shot against the San Francisco 49ers if this is a close football game, which I think it's going to be. You're asking me now to pick Brock Purdy, a young rookie, over Dak Prescott, and I'm not gonna do it. I am not gonna sit here and pick a San Francisco 49ers team led by Brock Purdy over a Dallas Cowboys team led by a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. And I know what this is. You know what? I know exactly what this is. If this was any other team, Justin, that wasn't in Dallas, you would not be saying all the bad things you are saying about the Dallas Cowboys. Not. So you know what? It's fine. It's fine.
Hold on, but you're
It's
again.
Fine.
I
cannot believe, Guru, you are a man of dignity, you are a man of integrity, and you're hard-headed. And I can't believe you just got on this show tonight and let Justin Marville of the hashtag thisJUSTin sports show, the Suns fan who wears an Eric Bledsoe jersey, Mr. Dipsy Doodle himself. I cannot believe you allowed this man to sway your opinion Any other time, you'd be jumping down Justin's throat. Now, all of a sudden, because he wanted to impress you with what 2-1, what a 21 offense is, and wanted to give you a bunch of scheme, now all of a sudden you got to get. I cannot believe.
Before I let Guru,
the Dallas Cowboys are going to win this football game by at least 4 points.
Again, before I let Guru get in here, right? It is not. I have no disrespect to Dallas. I just said the Dallas defense is a good one. The Dallas offense is a good one. And I said this is a good constructed football team. The issue comes, again, and there's no knock on the secondary. You're asking cover corners and safeties and their linebacker core to make tackles at the line of scrimmage. Trevon Diggs does not want to do that. And that's all Kyle Shanahan is going to do is like, okay.
Trevon Diggs wants to win a championship this season.
He wants to cover deep. That's what cover corners do.
Oh, like, wait a second. I just thought about this too. I'm sorry. I just thought about this as well. You don't think Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys, knows that that's the game plan offensively? You don't think that the Dallas Cowboys
all right, and that's fine. It's one thing to know. It's one thing to know, but do you have the horses? So I'll give you an example. Deion Sanders is the greatest cover corner we've ever seen in football. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. Do you think that Deion Sanders, as great as he is, wants to come to the line of scrimmage and tackle somebody as physical as Deebo Samuel? And the answer is no. Do you think he wants to have
sliding prime time Deion Sanders?
Do you think? But he will tell you himself. Do you think he wants to have to go through George Kittle and Kyle Houston before getting to somebody like George Deebo Samuel? The answer is no. Please cover
is necessary.
No, and I'm telling you, like cover corners, like Trevon Diggs are not built that way. They don't want to do that. Like Guru, as a former safety, he will tell you. Like cover corners like Trevon Diggs do not want to do that. And that's all that the San Francisco 49ers are coming to do. Like it is just a matchup of styles. I'm not telling you. And then to see is the matchup of Dak and Brock Purdy? No. The San Francisco 49ers are not going to sit down and put Brock Purdy in a position to try to win them the game. That's not how they're built. That's why Brock Purdy has done so well, because they're not going to sit down and put a game on Brock Purdy's shoulders. Like you said, about Micah Parsons and the other pass rushers. Do you think that Kyle Shanahan is coming here to have 5 and 6 and 7-step drops to put Brock Purdy in a situation of harm? No, that's not what the San Francisco 49ers are going to do. So that's
I love how you're bestowing all of this benefit of the doubt for the San Francisco 49ers.
But that's what they do.
And do I think that? And do I think this? You don't think Dan Quinn, one of the best defensive minds on a sideline in the NFL right now, is aware of how wait a second. This just dawned on me. I don't know why it took me that long to get there. This just dawned on me. It's like it's as if it was just bestowed upon me from the good Lord above. Why? I can't believe I just forgot about this. We saw these two teams play football last season in the playoffs. We saw that.
And what happened?
Wait a second. Let's just get here. We saw these two football teams play each other last season in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
And if it weren't for the worst decision ever at the end of a football game, the Cowboys were actually in a position, if they would have managed that a bit better at the end there, they could have actually won that game. Maybe they could have.
But they didn't. I know.
Wait. But they didn't.
They didn't.
But they didn't win that game because Trevon Diggs doesn't want to make tackles. They didn't lose that game because they're not physical. Wait. Hold on. Wait a second. Let's be very clear about the demise of the Dallas Cowboys against the San Francisco 49ers last season. I get it. They have Christian McCaffrey, and that's completely different.
I was about to say Christian McCaffrey.
That doesn't even matter, actually. That actually doesn't matter. It doesn't. That's no disrespect to Christian McCaffrey. So let's get your eyes back to normal side. Let's think about this for a second. Because what did we say at the end of that football game in the ensuing days and in the offseason as the reason why a lot of us wanted Mike McCarthy to be gone?
Mike McCarthy does not know how to manage the clock. We've said this.
Okay, wait, stop right there. Thank you. So, despite all of this, despite the fact that Kyle Shanahan can scheme players left and right, and despite the fact that this O-line is still, because it was then last year and it is still now, one of the best O-lines in football, if not the best, and despite the fact that this is one of the best defenses in football, which was still the case last season, the only reason why the Dallas Cowboys lost last year in the playoffs to this 49ers is because they couldn't manage the clock. That's it. That's
So,
the only reason. Well, wait. So,
is Mike McCarthy somewhere else?
So what you're telling me though is because these coaching staffs haven't changed. Dan Quinn was the DC last season. He's the DC this season. Right. Kellen Moore was the OC last season. He's the OC this season. Kyle Shanahan and D'Amico Ryans, they were calling the shots offensively and defensively respectively last season. They're doing the same this season. So really, what this game is going to come down to is what it came down to last year.
One team has Christian McCaffrey.
Wait a second.
One team has added
Christian wait a second. But wait.
You can't, Christian McCaffrey.
And I'm gonna because
Christian McCaffrey is arguably the best running back in football, and you've added him to that roster. Like this offense has exploded.
Hold on, but wait a second. The San Francisco 49ers without Christian McCaffrey, yes or no, Justin? I just want a yes or no. Have always had one of the best rushing attacks in football. Yes or no?
Yes, but they're not.
No, wait.
But they're not this good, no.
Hold on, but wait a second. But let's just think about this for a second. Because all of the production that 2 and 3 guys were doing in the past, we're getting from just one guy now.
That's not so. They're very.
But it is.
That's not so. Dwayne, that's not true. So no, you're saying this Dallas team lost to San Francisco last year, and now you're saying
poor clock management is what I'm saying.
And then they add the best weapon in football, and you're saying that they're going to beat them.
No. If you listen to me and let me finish, I can get through the point. I'm not saying that Christian McCaffrey doesn't matter. Of course he matters. But really, if we boil this down to the nitty-gritty, Christian McCaffrey is one man doing what 2 to 3 men have been doing
for
years. He has. He's doing
because Jeff Wilson.
Okay, now I'm going to pull the card. We're Packers fans, Justin. We've seen this up front and portional 3 of the last 4 years. We have seen 2 and 3 men. We saw Elijah Mitchell a couple years ago go for 200 on us. We saw a couple years, like we know what the 49ers can do on the ground. And
Elijah Mitchell and Jeff Wilson are not Christian McCaffrey because as much as their production on the ground, hold on, Dwayne. As much as you're seeing he's doing the work of 2 or 3 men, that's not the case because Elijah Mitchell, Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert are not creating mismatches by being schemed to go wide. Those are not what. So when Christian McCaffrey goes out wide, teams don't respect Raheem Mostert catching ball in backfield because he doesn't. So that you can't sit down and see Christian McCaffrey is doing the work of 2 or 3 men because no, he's doing even more.
Justin, listen to me. We are talking about a man in Christian McCaffrey, who is undeniably, when healthy, the best running back in football. I'm not debating that. I am not debating the face value, the on-paper value that Christian McCaffrey brings to this football team. What I am saying to you is the thing that makes this 49ers offense so great and so prolific and so potent is, as you mentioned, Kyle Shanahan's ability to scheme players open and create mismatches, even if they didn't already exist pre-snap or on paper. And what I'm saying to you is, regardless of who's stepping onto the field this weekend, the one thing last season that kept the Cowboys from beating this team that has all the same pieces and the exact same construction on both sides of the football is the ability to manage the clock. The Dallas Cowboys this season have done a lot better of managing the clock than they did last season. And what I'm saying to you is, I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to run away with this football game. I'm not saying they're going to completely neutralize Christian McCaffrey. It's impossible. I'm not saying they're going to completely neutralize Deebo Samuel. It's impossible. I'm not saying they're going to completely shut down the things that the 49ers are going to try to do. All I am saying to you is this: the Dallas Cowboys, the one thing really standing in the way of the Dallas Cowboys and beating this football team, a team that they were in prime position to beat last season if they managed the clock better, is managing the clock.
Which is fine. And then no, on top of that, no, you've added this piece because you're like, as much as you are belittling Christian McCaffrey, because when you add this piece that is so dynamic, that makes everything even harder to defend now.
I'm gonna steal a page out of Guru's book. I don't care what the name on the back of the jersey says, bro. I don't care what the name on the back of the jersey says. I don't. I don't. This is about X's and O's. And the X's and O's last season in this football team with these OCs and these DCs and these head coaches showed me that the Dallas Cowboys are more than capable of hanging with the San Francisco 49ers. That's all I'm saying. Christian McCaffrey. Oh, wait. Christian McCaffrey is going to have probably 200 all-purpose yards. He's going
well, then you're going to lose.
That's fine. But this is a football team in Dallas that saw a very similar thing to that last season where Deebo Samuel had close to 200 all-purpose yards. He did. Go check the box score.
Well, yeah, but that's no.
The only thing that kept them out of it was clock management. The
Right,
Cowboys
so-
win this game by at least a field goal. Is all I'm
So then you're saying, all right, Deebo did that. I know you're adding a better Deebo Samuel alongside George Kittle.
The Cowboys win this game by at least a field goal. That's fine.
And you finished with your rubbish. Like I was just sitting here patiently. I'm talking about you. No. I'm talking about you. Yeah, you. Because you over there talking. You've been doing too many. Moving back. The screen was shaking. All that nonsense.
I can't believe either one of you. Guru,
like I
the
said,
respect I had for you before the show was already diminished because you showed up at 8 o'clock when the show was.
Look. See, that's when you know you catch him because he's going to extra stuff that has no.
Let Justin Marville. You let Justin Marville of all people sway your opinion.
I was patiently waiting because I was timing y'all. I was patiently waiting for about 12 minutes. I didn't say a damn word. Not a single word.
You started the segment. What do you mean? You started the segment.
We could go back. Hey, I could throw a flag and check the instant replay.
You started the segment.
While you and Justin was talking.
You started the segment and you talked for a good 6 minutes, bro.
And then I kept my mouth shut for a good 13 minutes. All right, so now I'm back. Because I had to hear all this nonsense you were talking about. And I could only take it for so much, dude. Like, I was going hair in my head because you were talking so much nonsense, bro. That's how nonsense you were talking. This guy's over here. I know he's a little stats guy. He used to check the box score. Oh, they lost because the clock management. No, bro. If you didn't realize that game, they were down like 18-21 zip in the first 2 minutes of the damn game.
They came back though, right?
No, they lost. Anyways.
Wait, but they came back, though. They didn't lose by 18, 20 points.
They didn't come back. Let me tell you.
They didn't lose by 18, 20 points. No, they didn't. They lost by
I know it's your show, but did I do this with you? I did not go
earlier. You did it earlier.
Oh, my goodness. Mr. Historian. What I'm basically saying, last year, the Cowboys were a better team than the 49ers. Could you say yes or no? Who was favored? Who had the home field advantage? Who was home? The Cowboys was. It was in Dallas.
Favorite, though.
No, what? It was in Dallas. The game was in Dallas last year.
The home field advantage doesn't mean you're the favorite.
Oh, well, no. In the playoff meanings, you have the better record. So that means you. I know you're a stats guy. Better record means better team, right?
Were the Bucks the favorite on Monday? No, they weren't.
I said better record. Better record means you're a better team. Right?
Favored is what you said.
The Cowboys was favored at that game against the 49ers.
You said because they had home field. All I'm saying is that's
not okay, Mr. Stats guy. So what I'm getting at is the Cowboys had a better team. Vegas said they were favored, which I fell for because I lost money that game. Anyways, they were favored, right? And they lost that game 23-17, which is what? A 6-point deficit from what I recall.
Huh? So they did come back. Okay.
No, they did not come back. So I said, listen, as a football player, as a guy that watches film, if you only give up 17 points, there's a highly percentage chance that you will win the football game. And meaning defense.
Unless you're the Denver Broncos.
Okay, let me get at him real quick. And there's so much I was just sitting in here. Like I said, I was growing hair as this man was talking, man. He's over there. Oh, you talking about Michael Parsons. You think they're going to do this? And I'm like, bro, who's going to be the defensive player of the year? Who has a better pass rush? Who's a better defensive player right now on the field? Who has the best defensive player on the field in that game? Is it Michael Parsons or is it Nick Bosa?
Are you asking?
I'm asking you real quick.
You're not going to like my answer.
I don't care. It's not about to like it. Obviously, because you're going to say something stupid and ridiculous because we know this. That's like me saying what's 1 + 1. You're going to say it's 3. Okay, that's good.
You can put Michael Parsons on the line. You can put Michael Parsons on the linebacker. You can put him on the edge.
I don't care. You can put him in the moon. You can put him in a spacecraft.
Michael Parsons is a more versatile football player than Nick Bosa is.
You can put him anywhere you want to put him at.
Parsons is more versatile than Nick Bosa. That makes it.
Hey, like I said, Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa got a history of being an elite. Like this, not like he just an accident. All of a sudden, I'm Nick Bosa.
Whoa. See, now you're putting words. I didn't say he's not elite. I'm saying you can put Micah Parsons anywhere on the defense, and
okay, that's cool. You could. But what is he great at? Exactly, rushing the passer. Anyways,
great at everything, actually. That makes him so great. That's what makes him one of the best defensive players in football.
You know what? I just want Nick Bosa to do one thing, and he does it better than Michael Parsons, which is sack the quarterback. He does it better than Michael Parsons. That's a fact.
Does he really?
Yeah, he does.
Because wait. If I remember correctly, this season, Michael Parsons has more pressures than Nick Bosa does this season. Michael Parsons is a better fourth quarter pass rusher than Nick Bosa this season. So, I don't really know.
Hey, I don't care about pressure. I'm talking about the finishing the job. Who cares about pressure? You don't get sacks in pressure. Who got more sacks? No, that's easy.
I'll check for you. Go ahead.
I know who did.
I'll check for you.
Because he led the NFL in sacks. I know who did.
That's fine. By how many? By one? By two?
No. By at least 5. No bullshit.
Michael Parsons. You're talking like Michael Parsons is a scrub right now, and I don't appreciate it.
No. You're talking about pass rush. You're talking about, he's going to get a pass rush, this, that. And you forgetting to realize the reverse side of it. Dak Prescott got to go with the more hellacious pass rush than the 49ers. And secondly, bro, at the end of the day, it's simple as 1, 2, 3. And Justin, this is his lucky football season. I give it to him. I don't agree with all the nonsense he said, but this fucking season, this guy was on fire. It happens. Everybody got lucky this season.
No, this isn't luck. See, no, not now. Now we're getting a little disrespectful. This isn't luck.
Justin, hey, I give it to Justin. This last season, I'm talking about me and Justin personally. He got his little, I'm gonna say that live. Yeah, Justin, you got the guru in a couple games.
There comes a point in time in every walk of life when a young, smart, intelligent whippersnapper like myself comes and puts the OGs in their place. And that's what I've done all season. It started with Justin and his nonsense about the Broncos in the offseason, which, by the way, I still haven't, that's one thing. We'll go down the list, which Steezy still has to come back on the show to atone for. By the way, we're still looking for you, Steezy. We still have an APB out for you for that Broncos take. Then we also had to deal with Justin Marville yelling at me on the Final Whistle Sports Pod for 30 minutes in the offseason about the Green Bay Packers being Super Bowl or bust this season. When I sat there and I told him
it was a Super Bowl or bust.
That they weren't sniffing the Super Bowl this year.
Bust.
Then we get over here to you, Mr. Guru's Film Room. You sat here, you came on this show before week 6, and you told me the Bills were going to get annihilated by the Chiefs. And the Bills went into Kansas City and they beat the Chiefs.
And I also told you that the Jaguars was going to win the AFC South and go deep in the playoff.
I didn't disagree with you. I said it could happen. Then you came back on this show. And you told me that you don't believe in the Cincinnati Bengals, and all they've done this season is exactly what they did last season. Another thing that Justin Marville said.
Wait, hold on. What was your record in the divisional round? What was your record? What was your record?
Correct.
Say it again.
Look real quick. I said I don't care about the Bills regular season till they play the Chiefs or whoever.
I'll just pull the tape and post on Instagram tomorrow. The only Justin, I picked all the games correctly. I won money off of it, actually. And I have the proof. And I have a friend I can call right now and he can attest to it. I went 6 for 6.
We're not playing no board game. You ain't calling no damn friend. You want to put up your whole damn plan. And speak your damn piece.
Wait. You want to see the parlay slip? I can share my screen and show you the parlay slip. I went 6 for 6. I won $136.57 off of it, actually.
Can we get at the other division games because they have a lot to talk about?
We can, but don't sit here and you're trying to call out my wild card prediction. Stop it, Justin. Stop it.
Anyway, you got right
I'm also Guru will tell you every Sunday was messaging and Guru was smite, but that's another conversation for another time.
This is not your show, Justin.
Let's talk about another game I know that both are going to be dead wrong about, especially Guru. And Justin, we'll start with you on this one. The Philadelphia Eagles are hosting their NFC East rival.
Thank you, my team.
Who's winning this game and why?
This is the game I don't want to call. I will just say this. The Philadelphia Eagles are All right, hold on. The Eagles are upset alert, but I think Philadelphia will pull through.
You made this mistake last week, Justin.
You
made this mistake last week, Justin.
I did.
Upset alert, and you didn't pick them.
I didn't, but I am going to. All right.
Don't let lightning strike twice with Justin. Don't do it.
No, I'm not going. The Eagles are upset alert. However, Guru, I am going to still pick Philadelphia in a one-score game, tight games, because all right, first thing first is it's a division rivalry, and we know as whatever throw records out the window when division rivals play, especially for the third time in the season. And they say it's hard to beat a team 3 straight times. I mean, if you're extremely better than them, then fine. So why do I have the Eagles on upset alert? This is the time that Guru doesn't want to hear me because Guru gets upset. I've told Guru all season and he refuses to hear me. This Philadelphia Eagles defense is overrated. It is not bad, but it is overrated. And part of this overrated defense is that they rely too heavily on turnovers, especially interceptions. Now, why that does not matter with the New York Giants, as we saw against Minnesota, even though Minnesota is an extremely terrible defense, is that New York is coming to do one thing and one thing only, and that is run the football. Whether it is Saquon Barkley, whether it is Daniel Jones, they are coming to run the football. And if the Philadelphia Eagles have a weakness, and yes, Guru, they do have a weakness, it is up front on that defensive lane. They have issues stopping the run. And what have I told you, Guru? Football is won on the line of scrimmage. So when everyone was saying that Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley were the reasons that the New York Giants beat the Minnesota Vikings, I said, no, they dominated both lines of scrimmage. And I think, I have an issue with Philadelphia up front, especially when that rookie run stopper does not play. So, and also to Guru, because I know Guru loves to talk about the wiggle in this Philadelphia Eagles and this quick strike that they have with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. The problem with this quick strike offense is that it is quick strike. And New York Giants are not coming to play quick strike football. They're coming to play possession football. And so you can score quickly, but you're not going to score often if you're watching football from the side of the field. The reason, though, however, and I'm going to be fair, the reason I have not picked the Giants to win this football game is the other line of scrimmage. And the New York Giants completely dominated Minnesota with that defensive front. Like Dexter Lawrence looked like the second coming of Aaron Donald. And Kayvon Thibodeau, as I've told people before, I thought he was the best player in this draft. He isn't right now, but he's a damn good player. And those two players completely wrecked Minnesota's game plan offensively. I do not expect that to happen against Philadelphia's offensive line. Like that is a real you're asking those two people to come against the strength of Philadelphia. Forget Jalen Hurts, forget AJ Brown, forget Devontae. The strength of this Philadelphia team is their offensive line. You talk about Jordan Mailata, you're talking about Jason Kelce, you're talking about Lane Johnson. This is the best offensive line in all of football. And for New York to repeat what they did against Minnesota, it means that they're going to have to live in Philadelphia's backfield. I do not expect that to happen. I expect Philadelphia to be able to control this line of scrimmage. And so if you're asking me then which offense is going to do more because I expect both offenses to be good, then I have to lean towards Philadelphia narrowly. It looked bad the very last week of the season when New York rested everyone. I do mean everyone. And Philadelphia in a must-win game for them barely scraped a one-score victory. I still think that Philadelphia's offensive line is going to be the difference in this game. I can't look at a team with Lane Johnson, with Jason Kelce, and with Mailata and say that is going to lose. I'm taking Philadelphia by 3.
Man, we go through this every freaking week, dude. Every freaking week, man. This dude is a hard-headed mofo. I tell you, bro. It's like, oh my God, dude. Like, I'm tired of just talking to Justin about this sometimes, because he's not only hard-headed, but he's also blind. So it's like when you got that type of handicap, that's why you always park in the handicaps when it comes to this football talk with the damn Eagles, dog. I'm tired of this guy. This game's gonna be a blow. It's gonna be the most in fact, I'm taking my lady. We going bowling while this game is on because I know it's gonna be a waste of time. I know it's gonna be the biggest blowout of the playoff in this weekend. It's not even a matchup, dude. I'm talking about the best team in the NFC. Forget all that cute Shanahan nonsense you were talking earlier when I agree with you. The best team in the whole entire NFC and probably top 3 best team in the whole NFL, who's loaded from up to down, every position group you could think of. They got the number one, all the Pro Bowlers, all the elite players, everything you need to know as far as being a better team, better offensive schematic guy with Nick Sirianni. Like, this is going to be an ugly, ugly setup. Yes, I watched the John. Daniel Jones is restricted. So that boy hasn't even opened the playbook yet. All right. They won 3. They got basically on the passing, they got one favorite passing play. They're going to run this play 20 times. I just finished watching that film, dog. I'm going to tell you, one guy do a deep post, a guy do a drag, and another guy do a curl. And then you got Saquon Barkley come to the flat. That's his favorite play. They do that on 4th down. They do that on 1st down. They do that shit 3 times fucking damn quarter. The Eagles have seen that play a million times because I've seen that shit a million times. And I'm talking about it because I'm tired of watching the same old play. And the Vikings are idiotic defense, so don't even compare that. First of all, I see a 34, maybe 13 ball game. Like, I'm talking about this is an ambush. It's going to be a beatdown. It's a terrible matchup. Terrible matchup. Because at the end of the day, we all know the worst team in the playoff right now is the New York Football Giants. That right now, as it's stated, the worst team left in football is the New York Football Giants, and the best team left in football, especially NFC, is the
San Francisco 49ers.
Anyways, like I said, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown. I know we all talk about Deebo Samuels, but A.J. Brown is the most physical receiver as far as separation and catching the ball, and especially the ball in the air. You can't bring this guy down. Different skill set than Deebo, but I'm talking about physicality. This is a physical machine. Kind of remind me of T.O. in a sense. I always compare it to his physical nature like a T.O. Unstoppable. Nobody you don't even know the name of the cornerback in the New York Football Giants, or the safeties, that's one, or the linebackers. I'm telling you, this is a terrible, terrible matchup. Terrible, because the way Martindale's run his defense, as far as all for nothing, I'm telling you, it's just a bad matchup. So if I was you, don't even watch the game, dude. Take the lady out, man. Enjoy that time so you could watch the other games, because that's going to be more fascinating than this. I think it might be the first game of the game. That's why they put the first game. You know why they put the first game on first? Because they know it's going to be a beatdown. And so nobody's even going to be up to watch this game, bro. So that's my take on this, man. Films don't lie. Stats.
Before we get in this, you're seeing then a division matchup between 2 NFC East opponents. It's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, did you see the Seahawks and the 49ers?
Yeah, but Seahawks are bad.
Okay, so are the Giants.
Okay, fair enough.
No, so are the Giants. All right, they're the exact same bad team. The same thing that happened is in this situation, meeting the third time is the worst time, because the Eagles already know everything they do, bro. He's not one of those they're like the Giants going to be like, oh, look, I'm Dexter Lawrence. I'm this. I'm like, get the heck out of here with that nonsense, dude. It's going to be a 24-zip game early. It's going to be over. Nobody's going to even know. As I said, I'm not even going to watch this game because I already know what's going to happen. I don't need to analyze it. Jalen Hurts will get no bullshit. It's going to be 21-zip at one point in this game. It's going to be 21-zip at one point in the game. Mark my words. And I want to come back on this show next week with this dude right here so he could be like, because I know what we want. My Eagles against his damn 49ers, because you're talking about deficiency. They can't stop the run. Bruh, every team has a weakness. Every team got a weakness. So you can emphasize all that weakness you want. But at the end of the day, we have the best pass defense. Obviously, if you have the best pass defense, you can't have the best rush defense. It's not possible.
Wait a second. That word you're using right now. That you're a Commanders fan. Talking about some Philadelphia Eagles.
First of all, I'm Tom Brady, all right? I'm a hard when he comes. I go to different teams every couple seasons, all right? So don't play me, all right? I'm not a Lions. I'm not a Lions.
You're a Commanders fan. What week was that? Week 8 when they beat the Packers. You're a Commanders fan week 13 when they beat the Eagles. Now all of a sudden it's a week. You know what? You know what?
Go ahead, do it, Marcus. I want to hear you.
First of all, we meaning, the Philadelphia Eagles.
I can't believe it.
And when it's set up, which I love the setup. Okay, hey, just because I gotta, you know what I'm saying, I'm dating someone, I can't see something else attractive and be like, that's beautiful, you know? Just because I got a wife don't mean I can't be like, hey, you know what? You have a beautiful lady, man. I know that's what I'm saying. I like beauty. And the Philadelphia Eagles are a beautiful team. Yes, even though I'm taking, they're still a beautiful team. And I'm pausing for a while. Say something, Marcus, because we know you. Whatever you're gonna say is gonna be bullshit. Don't unless you know what you gotta say. The Eagles are gonna dominate this game.
Well, you might as well lead the show because we're about to get real analytical. Couple things we need to get out of the way. First of all, Philadelphia Eagles. They're a good football team. I'm not gonna say they're not a good football team. I'm not gonna say they're not one of the best football teams. And then here's the thing, though. They don't have just one weakness coming into this game. They have two. They have two weaknesses coming into this game. The first one is the obvious one, the one that I've been yelling at you about for the past 2.5 months, and Justin has as well. It's the run defense. The run defense isn't good. Guru, and you can sit here, you can spew all this run defense propaganda about how no one likes to stop the run. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Saquon Barkley is going to have a field day against his run defense. That's number one. So will Vanilla Vic. Number two, most importantly, and then we're going to get analytical. You're not going to like it, but I don't care. The Philadelphia Eagles this season, on 3rd and 4th and short this season, ran a QB sneak more than anybody in the league. It's astonishing. I haven't seen more QB sneaks ran in a single season.
Very successful too.
And we saw very successful. You know why it was very successful? Because Jalen Hurts had 2 working shoulders. That's why it was very successful. Jalen Hurts has 1 working shoulder. Has 1. And 1 wrong hit, 1 wrong fall, 1 wrong move, and his non-working shoulder, which happens to be his throwing shoulder, by the way. That 1 non-working shoulder can take Jalen Hurts out of the game, which is why I thought he shouldn't have played in the last week of the season anyway against the Giants a couple weeks ago. But here's the thing. I think the Giants are going to win this game. I think the Giants are going to win this game by 50.
Gosh.
And here's why. Because the Giants are a resilient football team. The Giants can run the football, something that the Eagles have trouble stopping, number one. But also, most importantly, you want to sit here, you want to downplay Dexter Lawrence because he went up against a suspect O-line. You want to downplay Kayvon Thibodeau because he went up against a suspect O-line, as if these two aren't ballers, as if these two aren't some phenomenally talented defensive football players, as if D-Law and K-Tibbs ain't one of them when they are. Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeau.
Fletcher Cox. Well, go ahead.
Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence II are going to combine together as a unit. Not maybe coincidentally, but they're going to combine for 3 sacks in this game.
When they're down 38, against Minshew.
Against Jalen Hurts, they're going to combine for 3 sacks because they're Brian Daboll. You're right. The Giants only run 1 play, and they run it 80% of the time on offense. But it works. And last I checked, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Giants going to win this game. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a physical football team. It's going to be a physical football game, and they're going to win. I don't really have the energy to sit here and say a whole bunch of words because here's the thing. You're right. The Giants are not a great football team. They're not. They're not a great football team. They don't have a bunch of shiny new toys and a bunch of eye-popping, just, wow, look at this on the football team. But they're tough, and they're gritty, and they're a decent football team that can go on the road in Philadelphia. Say what you want, Guru. This is a division game, and we all know the division games breed upsets, and we all know that this is a football team in the New York Giants, coached by Brian Daboll, that is going to be playing with house money. But here's another thing, too, and this is what's going to piss you off. This is not about X's and O's. This isn't about stats. This is about history. And here's the history of number 1 seeds. When you look, and I know this, and Justin know this because unfortunately we've had to witness this for the better part of 10 years. When there's a team that has the bond, that is number 1 seed, that played great, there's this thing that's called expectations that arise come that first game in the divisional round. And Justin and I know all too well that a lot of times those expectations at home as the favorite against a team you're supposed to beat tends to cause you to play stiff. You tend to come out the gates a little bit slow because you had a week off. This is a Giants football team that is coming off a win, a big win at that, a huge win for them. And I get it. It was a playoff game against a suspect football team, but a win is a win, and it was a playoff game. The Giants are coming out there. They're going to balls to the wall. They're going to play loose. They're going to be excited. They're going to play physical. Something's going to happen. There is a fire lit under the New York Giants. I cannot say the same for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are at home with expectations, with a potential MVP candidate, with a guy in A.J. Brown who is phenomenal, with a guy in Miles Sanders who is phenomenal, and the Philadelphia Eagles are going to start this game slow. And if they start this game slow, I don't see them winning. Because here's the thing, and Justin's right. There's only one team in the history of football that has ever been a quick strike offense and has amounted to multiple stints of success in games over and over again. That's the Kansas City Chiefs. And this ain't the Kansas City Chiefs. This ain't Pat Mahomes. This ain't Andy Reid. This ain't Travis Kelce. This is a good football team, a solid football team, a great football team, one of the best football teams in the NFL this season, probably the best. But this is not that great of a quick strike offense. And when you are having, and when Saquon is running the ball down the throat of the Philadelphia Eagles and they are winning the time of possession, it's not going to be good. The Philadelphia Eagles have not won many games this year.
So real quick, I'm curious.
And the Eagles are not going to win the time of possession battle this weekend, and that spells trouble for them. Now I am done.
So I'm just, you know me, curiosity killed a cat.
I'll be curious. That's your problem.
Guy because I know this stat because I knew I was coming. I know this stat, but I'm just going to tell you this. Check the stats. The last two seasons, including this season, what's the Giants' record against the Eagles? And you know, because Saquon been playing in those. Like, what's the Giants' record?
Saquon hasn't played in all those games.
I said the last 2 years, last year and this year.
Saquon,
yes.
Saquon not hurt last year?
No, it was there. Check this out. Hey, 0. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna answer it for you. All right, they haven't even beaten the Eagles. All right, I don't think I've beaten the Eagles in 5 years. To be honest with you, I don't even want to go that far back. So you talk about, huh?
What's your point? The Bucks didn't.
My point is, you're hitting the table like this. They're going to see Saquon. They're going to see Dexter. Hold on, let me finish. They're going to see this. They're going to see they're big, they're strong, they're tough. You know who says that? Of course, that knows your team don't have the same talent. Every time you hear this,
I'm not arguing talent with you. I'm arguing X's and O's with you. I'm arguing schematics. I'm arguing matchup. That's your favorite word, matchup.
You know, schematically they can't be. Come on, man. Like that. There's a reason why the Philadelphia Eagles are who they are, and why the Giants are who they are. There's this one saying
who they are because of ineptitude in the front office. A. B. You bringing up the Giants' record against the Eagles means nothing because up until their playoff game last season, the Bucks hadn't beaten the Saints in years as well. So let's not act like it's not impossible for you to see a team for a third time in the season.
It's improbable. It's not impossible. It's improbable. That's all I'm saying. So you got this big, Mr. Big Chest, right? Talking all that big chestnuts, you know, with all that eating that peanuts you've been eating because now you got big nuts all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm telling you. I'm going to give you a 10-point fucking spread. 10-point spread. All right? This is going to be a beatdown, and I want you because you're Mr. Because I want to challenge you, Mr. TikTok guy. I want your ass to do as many push-ups as the points the Philadelphia Eagles score. All right. So I'm expecting about over 30 points. All right. So I need your ass to on your TikTok and every time you go down, who is the best? 1. Who is the best? 2. Do you take this offer or not on your show, Mr. Big Chest?
Wait a second. Wait a second. You want me to do what?
You heard what I said.
No, I was too busy laughing at the food.
You heard what I said. You heard me.
You want me to get on TikTok and do
yes.
What?
Since you love you, Mr. TikTok. Since you're Mr. TikTok, I don't even want to. I don't even know TikTok.
I'm trying to expand the brand, bro. I'm trying to.
No. I'm just telling what I want because I want a short video. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no reel. I want a TikTok of you, Mr. Big Chest. Guru knows best. 1. Guru all the way to 37 points because I'm predicting 37-13.
I'm not saying Guru's the best, but if you want me to do a push-up for every point the Eagles score, I'll do that. That I can do.
All right. Thank you.
I'm not saying Guru's the best on my TikTok. My man. I can't do that.
Oh, I guess his chest is not that big then. All right.
It's not. I have a bird chest, quite honestly.
And I'm giving you a 10-point spread. That's a 10-point spread.
You're disgusting. You know that? You're
This
disgusting.
is gonna be the easiest, Guru is the best freaking take ever.
Guru, your takes have been very hit or miss this year. Anyway, let's move on to the AFC in two games that I'm sure Guru's going to disagree with me again. This might be a long night of disagreeing, by the way. Guru, let's start with you. Bengals or Bills, who's winning?
Man, come on, bro. This one is starting to get interesting right now, man. I think the Bills' overall aspect of things could do numbers against the Bengals. But in a sense, I'm gonna put some emotion rather than film work on this. My emotion wants the Bengals because that'll make it, for me, an easier victory for my Eagles to win the Super Bowl. All right.
Wait a second. Say that again.
The Eagles going to win this. I've been saying this the whole, like, you think I never said that? Like, I told you.
Wait. No, not that. I know that. You're saying the Eagles would have an easier time against the Bengals than the Bills?
No, yeah. I'm more worried about that Terminator and Josh Allen.
Eagles are going to have an easier time against the better team in the Super Bowl.
I'm speaking my emotion right now, but like I said, if I put the film, what it looks like, I'll be honest with you, the Bills are a better team than the Bengals. I'll be flat out honest with you. The Bills are a better team than the Bengals, and the Bills should win this game. It could be a beautiful game. At the end of the day, I'm going to be 100% accurate with you. The Bills should beat the Bengals. They're a better team than the Bengals. Matchup-wise, the Bengals going to have more issues with the Bills than they would with the Chiefs in a situation like this. So it's one of those games that I feel like Josh Allen is just a menace to the against a team like the Bengals, and Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. There's too many weaponry. Yes, it might be a shootout. It might be July 4th, New Year's. You're going to be stopped. You're going to be fireworks everywhere. But at the end of the day, man, I just feel like Josh Allen is on a mission this season, and he's going to finish that mission, and he's going to finish everybody's favorite quarterback, everybody's lover boy. My man, Dwayne Mark is over here, his boy crush, his man crush, his man cry. He wants to see wins games, Joe Burrow. At the end of the day, I think Joe Burrow is going to lose this game, and I say Josh Allen and Kansas City will be playing in Atlanta to face the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Before Justin goes, I want to make three things crystal clear. Number one, Joe Burrow is not my man crush. I don't have a man.
Oh, you're a fanboy. Oh, okay, fanboy. However you want to call it. In my OG days, we're comfortable with that self. That's your male crush.
No, I don't have a man crush. I don't have a crush on Joe Burrow. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in football, and he deserves to be respected as such. That's number one. Number two, you cannot sit here and tell me that Josh Allen's on a mission and he leads all quarterbacks in turnovers all season. That's number two. Number three, most importantly, this is very important. Every time Guru has a bad take, his internet goes in and out. That's how you know that this take is bad. Because his internet just started going in and out. I couldn't hear a word that Guru said for a better part of his soliloquy. But it's okay. It was a bunch of nonsense anyway. Justin, go ahead. Who's winning this game on Sunday? Or whenever it is.
Like, if you wanted to go ahead, I'd be fine because this is the one I cannot call. I wish.
I get to take Guru to the slaughter?
I'll give you. Let's give me a couple seconds here. Obviously, unfortunate for the Hamlin situation, and prayers up for him. I hope he gets to lead a normal life, even if he doesn't play football ever again. I kind of wish that we, could have seen that game, but obviously, a player's life and future was way more important than a football game. So I wish that had never happened, so we could have also seen that matchup, so I could have something to gauge, what these two teams look like against each other. So I don't. These are two very, very good football teams. I'm going to shock Guru and say I actually think right now, in terms of impact, Josh Allen's a better quarterback, but in terms of overall quarterbacking, I think Joe Burrow has surpassed Josh Allen simply because, like Dwayne mentioned, the turnovers, especially the turnovers in the red zone, and how careless Josh gets in the pocket with the football is a bit of a concern. I'm also concerned, you know what? I'm just going to say it because I have a lot more concerns with the Buffalo Bills than I do with the Cincinnati Bengals. There are two concerns. One, Josh Allen and what the lack of diversity in their offense. They're asking Josh Allen to do too much, and he looks to do too much. Everything is a home run play for him, and that's why you see him one-handing the ball in the pocket instead of covering up. Like, the average quarterback will take the sack, but he tries it up and over with one hand or have the ball here extended, and he's just so careless. And in the red zone, when he was previously protecting the football, he doesn't do that, and that's because the Buffalo Bills offense is not diversified enough. They are expecting Josh Allen to be Superman on every play, and he wants to be on Superman on every play. But what was previously the strength of the Buffalo Bills and that secondary is compromised right now, and Tre'Davious White is a hell of a corner. But what happens of this Tre'Davious White is a bit of an issue with me, especially when one of my favorite players, former Green Bay Packer, I don't know why his name is not coming to me. Micah Hyde. When Micah Hyde does not play, they have some issues. And when I say that, the Miami Dolphins, with their third string quarterback, not even Tua, not even Teddy Bridgewater, were exposing that secondary. And this is Skyler is a rookie quarterback who is not even thought of highly. They exposed Buffalo's, or what should have been the strength of this Buffalo's defense. They were exposing that. I think part of the issue is, right, like, you can find a way to shift your coverage over to Jamar Chase, right? But the development of what I've seen T. Higgins, like, T. Higgins is really, really good. Like, you can argue right now. You can't argue. T. Higgins right now is the second best receiver on the team in the entire league. And I don't think there's an argument for that anymore. Like,
over Big Game Dave. Gabe Davis, Big Game Gabe Davis.
I'd take.
What'd you say, Justin?
T. Higgins as a second receiver on a team is the best of the rest. Like,
okay.
I take T. Higgins because Gabe Davis is a one-trick pony. Like, you can't like Gabe Davis does not have the route tree that T. Higgins has. T. Higgins is arguably a number one receiver on so many other teams, to the point I cannot understand why the Green Bay Packers drafted Jordan Love and did not take T. Higgins. That annoys me every single day. I think that is going to be the difference in this game. It all matters. Can Cincinnati's offensive line hold up just enough? And what will Buffalo do opposite Tre'Davious White, like with T. Higgins? I think T. Higgins' development is the reason why I am going to take Cincinnati in a field goal over Buffalo, especially considering I don't rate Sean McDermott's ability to manage late game situations well. So I'm going to take Cincinnati in a field goal over Buffalo.
I'm going to make this very short and very sweet. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to win this game because they're the better football team. They have the better quarterback. They have the better receiving core. They have the better running back. Their defense is slightly better than the Bills by just a little bit. Like, it's nitpicking, but just a bit. The Bengals are the better team. And the fact that, Guru, you sat here and said that they're not is ridiculous to me. It really is. We're talking about a guy in Josh Allen who has 30 turnovers from the beginning of the season to today. He leads the league in turnovers. And you're putting your trust in Josh Allen, a guy that you came on this show twice this season and talked just straight dirty about.
No, you did.
So,
you did.
I didn't
talk about all this turnover all year about Josh. You did.
No, you did too. You did too. You sat here and you told me that you don't believe in Josh Allen. You don't believe in the Bills until they play a game against the Chiefs.
I got so much until they're in the playoff. I don't care if they beat the Chiefs in the regular season. I don't care about that till the playoff.
They're not going to get a chance to play the Chiefs in the playoffs this year. They're going to get sent home this weekend by the Cincinnati Bengals because Joe Burrow is him. Like, Joe Burrow is about to go into Buffalo and beat Josh Allen. He's going to go back to Kansas City, sun the Chiefs for for the first time in for the fourth time in his career, he's going to go to the Super Bowl. He's going to beat on the Eagles, and he's going to win a Super Bowl in his second year as a starter.
Mr. Big Chest, I'll put another push-ups on this one.
Guru, I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing this back and forth with you where you try to justify all your bad takes or make me do TikTok push-ups. It's not happening. Want me to send you a video of me doing push-ups?
No,
I'm not going to keep listening to you. The Cincinnati Bengals are a better football team in every imaginable way except for head coaching, because I don't have that much faith in Zach Taylor as a head coach. Honestly, I don't. But the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win this football game in Buffalo against the Buffalo Bills. It's going to happen. It is. It is. And you can sit here and talk about how you're anti-analytics, and you can sit here and talk about how you have a man crush on Joe Burrow, whatever it is that you said a couple minutes ago. You can sit here, you can say all that. The fact remains the facts. And here's the facts. The Cincinnati Bengals are better than the Bills, and they're going to Buffalo, and they're winning this game. And it's really, it's really that simple. It's really that simple. I don't know. I don't know how you can continue to sit here and make excuses for Josh Allen and make excuses for the Buffalo Bills and make excuses for Sean McDermott when I'm looking at a football team in the Cincinnati Bengals that has an exceptional quarterback, the better wide receivers, the better running back. The defenses are comparable.
Really?
The O-lines are comparable. The D-lines are comparable. This is the better football team, and you're going to sit here and tell me that the Bills are going to win this game? You are out of
the film shows. The film shows the Buffalo Bills are a better team than the Cincinnati. You know why? You know why the film showed that too? And guess who's favorite to win this game? Because Vegas knows too. It's the Buffalo Bills.
Because
just like I told you,
most home football teams are favored, according to you.
Just like I told y'all, jabronis, you especially the biggest jabroni over here. All right, you Marcus, the biggest freaking jabroni, the biggest freaking jabroni. You're gonna get steak. That's what you are, because the Buffalo Bills gonna beat the Cincinnati Bengals. The Philadelphia Eagles going to crush the damn Giants. I don't know what the hell nonsense you're talking about. All your damn takes are going to be so fucking obliterated. The Dallas Cowboys going to get straight slapped like a baby when they first get born. Just slap their asses, all right? And who else did you pick? What else nonsense you said? Because you talking about a bunch of nonsense. That's what you've been talking about. Straight up nonsensical shit. All that statistical shit. The Cowboys, bullshit. The Giants, bullshit. The Bengals, bullshit. And let me guess, I bet you might even get the Jacksonville Jaguars, because you're on a roll. Bullshit. I guarantee you're gonna go 1-3 because I'm hoping you putting the the Chiefs over the Jags.
Are you?
We'll get there when we get there. I'm not going to tell you my pick right now. We're not at that segment yet. I'm sitting there trying to figure out what that does for you. Like, you first of all, you've officially turned the rating of this show from PG to TVMA. That's number one. Now I got to go and when I upload the episode, I got to go change.
You ain't going to get no monetization in this, all right? Because when the Google comes, no monetization, because I speak raw facts, all right?
You talking all that lies tonight. You spent 2 hours telling lies from the top of the show to now. Guru, the Bengals are better than the Bills. Like, we know this. This isn't the only people that don't agree with that are fans of the Buffalo Bills, which is fine. Bills Mafia is great, and I hope they don't.
So does Vegas. You know, I'm just saying, like,
Guru, when have you ever cared about the Vegas odds? You hate Vegas odds
because you're such an analytical guy. I have to use some type of analytics to communicate with you because you just talk rubbish.
Wait a second. Hold on. Let's answer a serious question, and I want a serious answer.
Because I'm checking the odds.
Aren't home teams usually favored at home in the playoff? That's how it works.
The Bills are 5.5 points.
I don't care. I actually.
Right. Well, by the way, the Eagles got the largest spread of the weekend because just FYI, you know.
You said what?
Eagles have a larger spread than Kansas City and Jacksonville Jaguars.
What's the Eagles spread? Okay, never mind. That's 9.5.
Because I was about to say.
That's actually a lie. You just sat here and perpetuated a lie.
No, I misread. There's a difference. All right.
So you lied.
Misread. I made him misread the information. I corrected myself.
we can all three say that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to blow out the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? We can
out the Jacksonville Jaguars? No, they're not going to blow
I
out.
think the Eagles game is going to be a bigger blowout than the Chiefs-Jags game.
The Chiefs Jags game isn't going to be a blowout, Guru. Why are we doing this? Why are we?
All right.
Okay.
Can I start the segment then with that?
No, I'm starting the segment. I'm starting the segment.
Okay, Mr. Big Chest.
Any given Sunday from September to December. That's all you hear. Any given Sunday. Let Guru tell it. That's all he knows is Any Given Sunday. I bet that's his favorite movie, Any Given Sunday. It's a great movie, by the way. That's all he knows. Any Given Sunday. Anything happened in week 6, anything happened in week 8. It's just regular season, doesn't matter. All this and all that. And it's the NFL, it's parity across the league, and all this other nonsense that Guru wants to spill from week 1 to the beginning of the playoffs. Now I sit here, I get on this show, and I say that the Jaguars aren't going to get blown out by the Chiefs, and I'm looking like I'm crazy, like I got poo on my face or something. Let's remember the football team that we are talking about. Let's remember who we are talking about. Last time I checked, the Kansas City Chiefs defense isn't that good outside of their front four. That's really, and the front four is not that great. The secondary is not that great. The linebacker core is not that great. Trevor Lawrence is a exceptional quarterback. Doug Peterson is an exceptional head coach. I'm not picking the Jags to win. I wouldn't be surprised if they win. I think, as I said on Twitter the other day, I think they have more than a puncher's chance of going into Arrowhead and coming out of Arrowhead with the win. The Jacksonville Jaguars are a good football team. And I think the Jacksonville Jaguars can hold their own against Kansas City Chiefs. I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs to win. I'm also picking the Jacksonville Jaguars to cover the spread because I think they can, because they have a good quarterback, because Travis Etienne Jr. is the real deal, because as Guru said on September 29th, 2022, this is the best offensive line in the American Football Conference. Those are your words, Guru, not mine. So if you want to dispute that, then you'd be disputing yourself, and that wouldn't be a good look for you. So all I'm saying is this is a good football team that is more than capable of going into Arrowhead and covering the spread and not getting blown out. I think the Chiefs win, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. And if the Jags win, I won't be surprised. But I do have the Chiefs winning this game. So I don't really know what else you want me to say.
Predict the score, mister. Predict the score. Don't tell us, oh, blowout. What you predicted?
27-24. It's not going to be a blowout.
Okay. Go ahead, Justin.
I think it's going to be a blow, and the reason being, like, you've seen a recent trend towards the end of the season, and then in this playoff victory, like, we know they came from behind 27 against the Chargers, and pulled out that victory all because, well, I told you all, I have absolutely no confidence in Brandon Staley as a head coach, but that's beside the point. Then you saw that against the Tennessee Titans, and then you saw that against Dallas Cowboys, and it's been a theme for this Jacksonville Jaguars team towards the end of the season that they make these second half comebacks. They're just constantly trailing. I think they did against Baltimore Ravens, so they trail, and they find ways to come back. I can assure you that you fall behind by 4 scores against the Kansas City Chiefs, that you're not winning that game. And like these slow starts have become too symbolic of Jacksonville, and they can't sit down here and say, well, they're not going to start slow against the Chiefs this weekend because that's all that the Jacksonville Jaguars have done this second half of the season to make this playoff run. If this is who you are and you are a second half team and making adjustments, you fall behind by 3 to 4 scores against Kansas City, then you can call it curtains. You're not going to come back.
Are you expecting a
slow start? Yeah, because this is who you are. And make no mistake, I'm not hating on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Doug Peterson has shown me that he is really a good coach. Like, I have to give my hats off. Like, it's a tremendous job. I mean, Urban Meyer is trash, and you all knew how I felt about Urban Meyer long before. Like, this man should not be coaching anything, far less NFL football. And to come after him was going to be a hard job. But for what Doug Peterson has done with a young quarterback, with a young roster, not exceptionally talented, but, and you saw the resolve of him. Like, look at the 2 franchises, and I mean the Chargers and the Jaguars in that playoff game. Like, you can argue that the refs missed a ton of pass interference on holding calls, defensive holding at the very least, time and time again. And not once did you see Jacksonville blink. You didn't see Jacksonville players get upset throw their arms in the air. There's just bad calls after bad calls. They went behind 27, and the Jaguars never blinked. One missed false start call, and Joey Bosa's helmet is all over the place, and he's flaring up, and he basically kind of cost him the game. So it just shows you the differences. And your team is usually a reflection of your head coach. And the fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars did not blink is a reflection of Doug Peterson's steely resolve. The issue is that if you're going to rely on that strategy against the Kansas City Chiefs, we know the Kansas City Chiefs gets 3 scores on you, you're done. Like, you're not coming back from that unless you are the Cincinnati Bengals. But that happened once. Like that, the Jaguars are not constructed to do that against the Chiefs. They're just not.
They're not. But the one thing I do want to say just real quick, because you mentioned the missed calls, and the missed calls are a fair point. But if you go back and you look at that game from Saturday between the Jags and the Chargers, right? And you look at the way that the Jags were playing football aside from the turnover, because really, except for the muff punt was just really bad luck of the ball just bouncing off the knock. So it was really 5 turnovers, but I don't think that's just terrible luck. You look at 3 of those 4 interceptions. 3 of those 4 interceptions were a result of some form of pass interference or some form of defensive holding. So while you're right, I don't think the Jags can expect to win this game or keep this game close if they fall behind. But I also look at this and I say, and again, and you know this as just as well as I do. Jerm always says, if the if game is dangerous, and if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. But you look at that game against the Chargers, if those calls are made as they're supposed to be on the Chargers defense, the Jags don't get off to a slow start because they were clicking, with an exception of, especially when they got into the red zone, with an exception of those missed calls. I look at this team, and they're not constructed as the Cincinnati Bengals were, of course, because they have better skill positions. That their wide receiver core is better than the Jaguars. Obviously, the Bengals are, and of course, although I think it's a slight edge, I do think that CJ Uzomah last year was slightly better than Evan Ingram at this point. Evan Ingram has had the best season of his career. I still look at this Jaguars team as a team that resembles the Bengals in a lot of ways, and that they don't give up, and they are very resilient. And this is a team that can win this game. I think the thing that keeps me from picking them to win the game, of course, is because they don't have all of the talent to fight back the way that the Bengals did last season. That's why I'm going to pick them.
So one more thing, Guru, before I let you jump in. And the reason then also, if Kansas City gets up on you, the thing that of past before, Cincinnati got down quickly and then they came back. Now, with the emergence of that kid, Isaiah Pacheco, there's an additional, they have an actual element to their run game. And I feel like they could just give that kid, and then that's the end of that game. So I don't really give Jacksonville a lot. They're on the road. So go ahead.
Dude, this is gonna be a beatdown. I love the Jags. Don't get it twisted. This is a boy going against a dog. All right. This is like when I go against you. You know what I mean? It's a beatdown, and we know it. I know it. Yeah, you do some little cute stuff. Oh, look, he's so cute. Oh my God, he says some analytical shit. Oh, Marcus, But nah. When we all look at the tape and we look at it, we're like, man, he's such a baby. All right. The Jags are baby. All right, there's levels to this, like Marcus. Like I always try to let you know, there's levels to this situation. All right, they're going against a team right now. There's, like when I used to have hair, Head and Shoulders. I used to use Head and Shoulders. They're Head and Shoulders. Like I said, okay. When I was a baby like you, what I'm saying? I used to.
Not a baby. So you can sit here and you can give me all these age jabs and you can do all this.
I'm not age jabbing nothing. I love age.
Guru, right. Since I've known you, I've consistently owned you. Like I don't understand why we're
I'm saying. Never seen a show about Bill Cosby. Kids say the dumbest things. You know what I'm saying? Like you just said one of the dumbest things right there. I love you for saying that. But in this situation right here, I'm the Chiefs, you're the Jags. All right, it's gonna be a beatdown. All right, so there's gonna be 2 blowouts this weekend. It's gonna be the Eagles blowing the hell out of the Giants, and the Chiefs are gonna blow out the Jags. It's just what's it is.
The Jags game, Guru. What's the spread?
Come again?
What's the spread on that game?
It's a 9.5 spread.
Okay, so when the Jags cover the spread, I want you back on this show next week. And just like I'm going to have Blaine Spencer apologize for me to laughing in my face about my Cowboys pick from this past week, I want you to come back on the show and apologize to me for saying that the Jags didn't cover the spread. Can you do? That's all I want. That's all I
So
want.
first of all, you're gonna be. This is what's gonna happen, okay? Because you're gonna go 1-4 you might go 0-4 because you said it's gonna be a close game. So I'm gonna count it as you're gonna 0-4. So you're gonna lose every game this weekend. Let me tell you exactly what's gonna happen, bro. This is simple. It's easy. Even a caveman could do it. All right. That's how simple. That's how easy it is. All right. The Eagles are way better than the Giants. The Chiefs are way better than the Jags. It's just what it is in every dynamic of it, in every flow. Every flow. It's not going to be close, my friend. It's not going to be close. The closest it's going to be is when they kick the ball off and it's 0-0. That will be the closest the game is going to be, brother. I'm telling y'all. You know how close Jacksonville is to the state of Missouri? Yeah, that's the distance of the gap of how much better Kansas City is. You know what I'm saying? That's the distance right there. So I expect to see this game should be over before halftime, to be honest with you guys. I don't think it's going to be competitive at all. The best thing that's going to happen is, like I said, the first quarter, but I think the Chiefs might mark this down. They might put the ball 2 times all game. 2 times all game. As much as I like the Jags, they're just so far, man. In fact, I'm watching the film before we started. I was the 3rd time me watching this film. That's why I was looking at Justin Herbert. They're so far beyond the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not even like, it's not close. Like, if you have any type of currency, I don't care if it's Bitcoin, I don't care if it's altcoin, I don't care if it's dollars, I don't care if it's the pounds, whatever the fuck you use. Please go somewhere. For you, go to the Capital One Arena, put this money, every money you have, tell mom, tell dad, tell girlfriend, tell everybody, take that money and put the game on the Kansas City Chiefs to win -9.5, because it will be guaranteed, and you're going to thank me next week. Just like Drake says, thank me later. That's the only thing I'm going to tell you, man.
Yikes. And the fact that you just quoted Aubrey Drake Graham in that disgusting soliloquy is blasphemous and disrespectful. One of the greatest artists to ever step foot in front of a microphone. That's A. B, and most importantly, Guru, at some point you need to learn to stop using such drastic measurements of words. Absolute, no doubt about it. Beat down, slaughter. You keep using all these. You're like a kid when they first have ice cream. You just use all these grandiose words, all these massive words that filled with emotion, and just and you get all big and you get all close to the camera and you do all this, and the light bounces off the top of your head and we can see all your thoughts, and you just get all you just do all this. Guru, listen, you can do all your peacocking all you want. Here is the facts, and I'm using your logic. This is what I learn every Monday morning at 4:00 in the morning when I tune in to Monday Morning Football. I'm just giving to you what you give to me. Last I checked, Guru said Trevor Lawrence was the real deal. Last I checked, Guru said the best offensive line in the AFC belongs to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Last I checked, Guru said that the Jacksonville Jaguars, a couple months ago, you said that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be the closest thing we see to this year's Cincinnati Bengals as it pertains to the resolve and the fight and the internal will they have to win football games. They're going to sit here and tell me with a straight face that the Jacksonville Jaguars don't have a chance. You keep doing this flip-flop thing, and I don't like it. And I called you out on it 2.5 months ago when you came on the show the first time this season, and you tried to do this flip-flop thing with the Buffalo Bills.
First of all,
on the show,
I was a DB, so I got bad feet, so I don't wear no flip-flops. Secondly,
here and disrespect Trevor Lawrence, William Trevor Lawrence, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. You're not going to do it. You're just not. William Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars are a good football team. Let you tell it. William Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars boast the best O-line in the AFC. Let you tell it. William Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars always have a shot, according to Guru of Guru's Film Room and Monday Morning Football. So what we're not going to do here on this show, go talk with Marcus Guru, is sit here and flake on the takes that we make, because it seems like, Guru, what you're doing is you're hedging your bets a little bit from earlier in the season. What it seems like, Guru, is you really don't have all the faith in the world that you had in the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I love your journalism major.
It's for you that they're playing the Chiefs, so now you can talk bad about the Jaguars.
No.
And the Chiefs.
I'm not going to let you.
David Goliath, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are gonna cover the spread, Guru, whether you like it or not. So no, I'm not gonna tell my mom, I'm not gonna tell my dad or my grandma or the girlfriend I don't have, or my cousins or my sisters or my brother to go down to Capital One and put all their life savings on this game for the Chiefs to beat the spread, because I don't think the Chiefs are gonna get the spread. I think the Jags are gonna cover the spread. I think that the Chiefs are gonna win the game. I think the Chiefs are gonna win the game. But I don't think. I think the Jags will cover the spread.
Look. I know you're beautiful. You lose words so beautifully, like so eloquent. Your words are so eloquent. Like that's how you fool people. I know people watching this. They hear it. They're like, it's so rhythmic, man. It's like a pastor talking. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. But you know what I see? I see nonsense coming out. You know what I'm saying? I'm
just saying to you what you said to us over the course of the season.
Don't paraphrase what I said.
Drew, you didn't. Wait. Hold on now. Look, listen. You didn't say that the AFC, the best O-line belongs to the Jaguars. You didn't say that.
Hey, just because they have that, don't necessarily mean they're going against a team that's not better.
That's not what I'm talking about. See, stop. Because now I'm not disagreeing with you. The Chiefs are better than the Jaguars. I'm not.
No, let me use one of. Hold up. Let me use a high value word. The Chiefs are exponential. I can't even use that word. Exponentially, yes. See that? I can't have that type of rhetoric. Let me go back to my way, my emotional way. The Chiefs are way better. So, see, that's the difference between your words and my words, all right? The distance from Jacksonville, Florida, to Kansas City, Missouri, that's going to be how much separation as far as talent level overall the Kansas City Chiefs have. Yes, I like the Jags. Yes, I predict the Jags, but I said they're going deep in the playoff. This is deep enough because they're in the Final Four, or Elite Eight or Final Four, whichever rhetoric you want to use, Mr. Eloquent. What I'm just saying is, right now, they just hit their peak. You know, it is what it is. Even Cinderella, when it came to midnight, she had to go home. The Jacksonville Jaguars had a curfew, and the curfew is when you face the Chiefs, you taking your ass home. And right now, the curfew just hit. So, yes, they had fun. They enjoyed the party. Yeah, Marcus, like, yeah, they were dancing around. So, if you want to help your family member and for them to be like, you know what, Marcus, thank you so much for adding value to our money, for taking it to Capital One, because you adding capital to them. It's not only about your words. Now, give them some financial assurance. And this is great. I'm not talking about take this to the bank. This bank is open on Sunday, which is the casino bank, and which means the Kansas City Chiefs will win by minimum 17 points.
I just want the record to reflect that you said this about the Bengals last year in the divisional round, and you see how that, or in the AFC Championship game, and you see how that turned out for you. Anyway, again, I'm not disagreeing with you that the Chiefs are better than the Jags.
I'm disagreeing. No, I said exponentially. Say a word. Expo what?
Exponentially.
Yes, thank you. Better.
I'm disagreeing that the Chiefs are better.
I'm saying exponentially.
All I'm saying is the Jags have a chance. Anyway, let's go.
They don't have a chance
because Justin has dozed off 3 times now.
They don't have a chance.
I was looking at some stats and some numbers. So
his eyes.
That's what you guys do. Look at damn stats and numbers. That's all like it's a telephone. What's the numbers? That's all y'all care about. Damn numbers and shit.
Guru. I've said this to you before. You need to listen to me. Stats are nothing more than records of the events that happen, and you need to look at them so that you can see the things that happen as they happen. Maybe you make better.
Pastor, I told you once before, and I'm gonna tell you once again. I am anti-lytic. I'm all about the analytics.
That's fine. You got to read. You read with your eyes. You got to read analytics with your eyes.
Nah. See, you can't. You read with your mind.
Look, I'm sure Guru will be back here for the Super Bowl. He better be anyway. All this trash he's talking. I'm sure Justin will also be back here for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl Friday is
Super Bowl Sunday.
I'm not going to have a show on Super Bowl Sunday. My show's on Friday.
You know what? I'm going to be taking my winnings. I win this weekend, so I might fly to the damn Super Bowl in Arizona after this damn money I'm about to make this weekend.
You bet on the Chiefs. You're not winning much money if they're the favorites, but you'd win more money betting on the Jags. You don't even know what the first thing about how to make money off of bets.
First of all, I'm taking the point.
And this is why no one should be listening to you for betting advice, because you think you're going to win a bunch of money betting on favorites. The only way you win a bunch of money on favorites is if you bet a bunch of money on favorites. Mr. Guru.
Exactly.
You know what, Guru? You know what? I think I've had enough of you for today. I've been looking at you for 2.5 hours. You showed up late to the show. You want to sit up here? You want to yell? You want to call me past?
All this lies.
You know, this other nonsense. You didn't show up late? You didn't show up late?
What time was the show?
The show was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. The show started at 8:03.
Dude, I can't help it. Your countdown takes 3 damn minutes or 1 minute 58 seconds. What the hell wrong with you? No, anyways, Justin.
I pressed the go live at 8:03 because you wanted to show up and let you tell it.
You want to air out my dirty laundry to the whole world. Don't be airing out my dirty laundry in the whole world. Because
you don't get to come on this show and yell at me for 2.5 hours and think I'm not gonna get you back some way, somehow. What's wrong with you? This is my show. This is my show. I run this show. I don't come on yours. I've actually never been invited on Guru's show, which goes to show you the lack of love he has for me, really. But I don't go on a Guru's show and yell at Guru for 2.5 hours. I go on Justin's show and yell at Guru for 2.5 hours. I tell you, on my show.
You know what?
Own Guru.
Thank you for closing with me first. In fact, because I've been so inspired and by you and Justin, especially you with your nonsense bullshit you spread to the world. I think the world need me to start having my live now. That's what I'm going to start doing now. I'm going to start implementing YouTube Live, because I'm tired of the world hearing all this misinformation, because that's what he does. He's like Russia, you know what I'm saying? You and China, you all just spread misinformation to the world. And I'm here to spread the correct information, man. So yeah, the Guru, I will be starting my own live, and I want your butt to come there. And obviously, Justin, I'm going to get you right now, Justin. You're doing better than I expected, man. You know, Mr. Run the ball every damn play. You doing all right. Other than your ridiculous Eagles got a weakness. Damn it, the 49ers got a damn weakness. You see who the damn corners are? Exactly, but I'm not going to talk about that, though. We'll leave that for another day, but thank you for inspiring me, Mr. Marcus, for giving all these lovely people of your beautiful audience, your beautiful show, misinformation. But I'm here to clarify all of that, man, to make you look like exactly
I spent the last 15 minutes of the show giving back to Guru the things that he said on his show. So all I said in the last 15 minutes was misinformation. That means that you've been spreading misinformation all season, which isn't good. No, you're done. No. Guru's done for the night. No more from Guru. Nope. Because the light's bouncing and your head is sweating. It's okay. You ain't drinking no water today. I know you got a little cotton mouth all up in there. Go ahead, Justin. Tell them where to find the show, man.
First, let me thank y'all for bringing me on. I had an absolute blast. You cannot find this any better. So please, before, if you're watching here, you haven't subscribed, you're doing nonsense. Just subscribe to Go Talk with Marcus and also Guru's Film Room. The two guys may go at it, but they're exceptionally great shows and they're educational. But for this weekend, if you want all pro coverage on NFL football, then you come right here. That's hashtag thisJUSTin. No, I'm joking, Nate. Every Monday nights, YouTube Live, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. We are on YouTube Live. We are not a traditional podcast, so we're only on YouTube Live. If you want our short form content, you can go on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. That's hashtag thisJUSTin. Put in the hashtag because you don't want to hear about Matt Skellerman talking about 7 years of a guy falling off a cliff. You want proper analytical, statistical evidence with football. Hashtag thisJUSTin.
It's always a pleasure to have these two knuckleheads on the show, especially Guru. That light just bounced on that nog, boy. You gotta sleep in the dark. You got pitch black, no TV. A couple things to note. Next Friday, as mentioned at the top of the show, Blaine Spencer of the Final Ocean Sports Pod will be on the show, donning a Dak Prescott jersey.
Crazy kid.
As a Commanders fan. So we'll spend an hour trolling him and also previewing Championship Sunday to see who will be the Final Four next week. Also, next Saturday afternoon, we'll be doing a preview show for the Royal Rumble. My guy Salva Salo of Sports in the Big Apple will be back on the show for that, as always. And also, season 2 of Go Talk with Marcus is almost over, actually. We are coming towards the end. We have a show next week. We have a show, like I said, on Saturday. We have our Super Bowl show, obviously. The Super Bowl is on the the 12th. So we'll have a Super Bowl show that Friday. We'll have a trade deadline show the week before that. The last show of season 2 will be a all-star weekend show. We'll have some fun on that show. We'll have a bunch of basketball guys on the show for the season finale. And then we'll be back for WrestleMania in April. So we're going to take some time off, get our lives together, and come back with more content. And maybe a major announcement as well for season 3 as far as the future Go Talk Marcus. We'll see how things go. But it is always a pleasure to have Justin on the show. It's always a pleasure to have Guru on the show, even though he spits and he yells and he hollers and he screams about absolutely nothing for 95% of the time he's here. If you want more of me, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook at GTP Marcus. You can subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. 75% of you guys that watch the channel are not subscribed to the channel. If you like what you see, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future episodes. Head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Like, follow, comment, leave a 5-star review. And yeah. So for Guru of Guru's Film Room, for Justin of the hashtag thisJUSTin Sports Show, this is Marcus of Go Talk Marcus signing off on what is officially the longest episode of Go Talk Marcus ever. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, you guys enjoy the rest of your lives.